Hey, what's up, everybody? I knew I forgot something. Hold up for a second. Hey, y'all know who this is. This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. What's up, Dwight? What's up, everybody? What's going on to everybody that's up in here real quick? Oh, well, looks like there's only one person up in here. So what's going on to the one person that's here? So now that we're rolling, let me let everybody else know that we're live. Cause I forgot to let people know. Okay, got you. Okay, there we go. Hold on for a second. I decided to not go with the music real quick. Oh, hold on. Wait. All right, let's see what's up. Hold on, let me try this again. Okay, hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. All right, kind of had a little snafu, I guess, with the connection. So, let me greet everybody real quick. Geboren hardu guda, ola oite bem, vasas los, bonjour mes amis, que bawani konnichiwa, ni hani ama, sani bonani, jambo harbarigani, assalamu alaikum, shalom. Kamusta ka, kamusta po kayo, talafa lava soy fua. All right, to everybody out there. Okay. So, brothers, we are in a war. We are in a real battle. And we're talking about for our souls. Okay, what's up, Space Rice Krispies? We're talking about for our souls, right? So, brothers, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. We need to shore up our ranks. All right, we need to shore up our ranks because we got one major problem, and that is the simp brigade. All right, we got simps everywhere trying to do everything they can for a buck, even if it means destroying what's left of Afro people. The community is gone. All right. So I'm gonna just keep that real right now. The community itself is gone. It's out of here. So hold on. Let me see if um hey, what's up, USMC vet? Simplify, brother. Simplify. All right. All right, hold on for a second. So it kind of looked like for a while. There we go. It kind of looked like for a while that there was a mass there has been a mass attack by the BAW on TikTok over the weekend. All right. The American Black woman has gone after TikTok in such a way, and it's because of all the truth that's coming out there. From political thing, I did a video about Stacey Abrams that had the news article. What's up, Mr. Pirate Brain? What's up, David? Hey, what's up, Zimaloo, Space Rice Krispies? Hey, brother Dwight. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is when I tell people, when I tell brothers that you need a passport, that your first option for a mate should be somebody from outside of the United States. The second, outside of the so-called Black community or sisterhood. These would be your first options, because the laws of probability as to things going to hell in the handbasket and your work and effort being brought to nothing. All right. So I was paying attention to one of the twins from Sister, you know. And basically how the brother she was married to was shocked by the divorce. All right. She, what was her name? What's her name? I forgot her name. But this woman was married to this dude. You know, the twin, one of the twins from Sister. Somebody, if you can, I can't remember her name, Tia. But let me do this real quick. Let's before I really get into my presentation for today. Let me real quick. Let's go look at Facebook real quick. All right, this is her. Somebody give me her name. All right, but anyway, she's posting these pictures. All right, after being married to a dude for 14 years, and he did not commit adultery, he did not cheat. You know, the old cheating thing. He didn't. Hey, whoever that sent the donation. Okay, he didn't do none of that stuff. All right, and we're going to get into this, and this is why you can't marry the BAW, the American Black woman. All right, this is why we need to look somewhere. And brothers, this is what she's posting. Right now, when it comes down to it, there was another article here about her. And then this one, right? Just trashing Afro men before the world on behalf of ESPN, while trying to put Caucasian men in a better light for doing things way worse than Afro men. All right. So this man was blindsided. And he don't know why. And it's Tia, that's the sister, right? He don't understand what happened. But I can tell you exactly what happened. And I can tell you what's happening. Not only can I tell you what happened, but I can also address what's happening. And one of the things that's happening that you brothers need to be aware of is there is no sense of duty to anyone when it comes to the ABW. There's no sense of duty. The whole purpose of tying the knot, as they say, of getting a wife, the whole purpose of that is a duty to family and a duty to community. All right? A duty to family and a duty to community. The reason why our elders stay together longer than these women do in this generation right here is because of this. Our elders understood the duty to community and duty to family. They also understood things in a long term. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let me pause for a minute because I haven't said this in a while. But what's up, Lord Vader? In the house. Hey, what's up, Roger Spice? Hey, David. What's up, David? And hey, thanks for the donation, David. But anyway, so this now present a problem for anybody that try to hook up with these modern day black women. This presents a problem. It presents a risk, and it presents a risk that's kind of not worth it. I probably did. I got a donation earlier today. Let's see. Yeah, but it came in your government name. So thanks if that was you. All right. And so basically, before we get started, I want to say this because it's a question that shouldn't even be a question, but it shows you how lost we are as a people that we don't know crap about anybody outside the United States, and we don't know crap about anyone inside the United States. Hey, what's up, Daniel? All right. What can you tell me about the Haitians? Are Haitians Latino? And I'll pause for a minute and wait to see if I can get a quick answer. Are the Haitians Latino? Can somebody answer that? Are Haitians Latino? Because the whole point of this is to point out how our best option as Afro men, if we want to build a family, I'm not talking about girlfriend. I'm not. If you want to get a girlfriend and just to do what you want to do on a weekend, because the weekend is the best end. All right, and or if you wanted them pump and dump dudes. All right, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about dudes that are looking for wife material. All right, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the wife material dudes, right? And the reason why this is significant is that there's a purpose to this. All right. And before we can understand the purpose, we need to get rid of some ignorance that's in our own brains and stuff. And so, as we have these discussions at 8 o'clock on Saturdays, right? As we have these discussions, right? One of the things I want to bring to mind, all right, Mr. Pirate Brain says yes. There you go, Zimaloo. Exactly. So, and here's the mix-up. Oh no, they could be. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you pick up, this is why I said we need to go outside to get any woman outside of the United States, because the United States has a habit of ruining almost any woman that people bring into the United States, with the exception of, for the most part, the Colombians, the Thai women. So if you find a Thai woman that's down for you, she down for you. And many Mexican women. All right. And we're talking about straight from Mexico, right? You went to Mexico, went to Juarez, went somewhere, hooked up and found you somebody. All right. And even some in the United States. All right. Because in the United States, a lot of brothers are having successful relationships with Mexican women, but then it depends on if they in this thug life Mexican women, or so there's a distinct difference between the thug life looking women looking for that thug life and just the regular population, right? So the Haitians are Latino, but they're not Hispanic, although some may be mixed with Hispanic since they're so close to the Dominican Republic. All right. And I think that's the mix up. Okay. Is that the Haitians are Latino, but they're not Hispanic. And I think a lot of people confuse the question with, hey, are Haitians Hispanic? No, they're not Hispanic, but they're Latino because they speak French, a Latin-based language. All right. And so that would include the Brazilians too, who speak Portuguese. All right. So with that out of the way, what's going on is this. When you are looking for someone that is rooted, okay, when you're looking for someone that is rooted, all right, is best for you to get a passport right now at this time. And I'm going to demonstrate some things to you that's going on, especially on TikTok, right? I'm going to demonstrate some things because we got people that really desire us. All right. Now, before I get started, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click the notification bell. And my PayPal, me, and Cash App is in the description box. But before you donate to anyone, make sure you take care of your house and family first, and know what you're donating to too. Because some of the times we give money to people, and half the time it's a scam. Some of the time we paying for people's houses and stuff when they say that they're doing this stuff. So make sure we know what people are doing, right? So now let's get back to this. Okay. So when we look at the Haitian population, right? They got some lookers down there, and a lot of them are going to be in shape. But you're going to have an issue too. All right. And the issue that you're going to have is that they have the same mentality because of how the slavery thing went. They have the same mentality about their own Afro men, right? But we get an edge because we got a passport when we came there. All right. And so, but one of the benefits is they're like the people of Palenque here in Colombia. They are proud to be Afro. They are proud to be Afro, meaning that they wear their melanin with pride. Okay, they wear their melanin with pride. So this is the thing with them. Now, there was a woman named Cyan Santana, right? And basically, she said that Black men prefer Latinos over black women. And she said that Black men treat Latinas better than they treat Black women. And there's some falseness to that, but we understand her point. All right. There's some falseness to that, but there's a whole lot of other stuff you need to look into. All right. To understand what she's trying to say. All right. She don't know how Black men treat Black women because she's not in a relationship with Black or in with Black women like that. She only hear what Black women say, and most of the stuff coming out of their mouth is a lie. Most of the stuff coming out of the Black woman's mouth is a lie, right? So they be like, oh, the Black man ain't no good. No, the thugs that they pick. Now, keep in mind. So let's break this down real quick. So we put it up already ad nauseum, but 59% of Black women have more than one children with more than one man. All right, so they have multiple children with multiple men. 70+% of them have children, right? And it used to not be a problem, except they weaponized their children against any good man. All right, so 70% of them have children. So they're not going to be worthy of a man that got his stuff together. Whether he has children or not, it's not the same. They wish it was the same. It is not the same. Well, if I have children, then I need a man that don't have children. No, you don't. Well, if he has children, he's not worth me. Then you're not worth a man. Period. Bottom line. It isn't about whether he has children or not. It's about whether he's able to take care of a home. Now, for some people, like the dudes that they actually like, the thugs, the ones that sleep with everybody, okay, which only consists of 16% of the population, right? Those dudes are the dudes that these women that's complaining about how well Afro men treat the Latinas. Those dudes are the one that these women like for Harriet and all the rest of this stuff. The women that write Madame Noir, they like the thugs, they like the superstars, they like the men that's getting busy getting around. They don't like regular dudes. Remember, you have to be 6 feet, 6-pack, 6-figured income. Even though most of the babies that they create come from dudes coming out of the pen who's short as hell, got a bunch of tattoos though, all right, and don't have any job. So about all they got going for them maybe is the 6-pack, because they had nothing better to do but then in prison than to get that 6-pack together. And we can't blame them. You know why we can't blame them? 2 reasons. The Black women picked them knowing who they were, knowing that they was coming out of the penal system into their homes, had no other place to go, and that's why they picked them. They thought they could rule over those men. The men was dipping in them, they friends, they sisters, and some of the times they mama. All right. They was making babies all over the place with no means to take care of them. But this is what the black women have been choosing in mass. What's up, King Groove? In mass. Okay. So that's one. Two, these men never claimed to be good men. So they picked men that weren't good men coming out of the penal system that was going to put them at a disadvantage, but they liked the way they look. They like that little thug, what do they call it? Swag. He had swag because black women are looking for dudes with swag. All right. So then when Science Santana say that the Afro men that end up with Latina women treat Latina women, then the thugs who end up with black women, then they treat the black women. These people are comparing apples to oranges. They're comparing the men that the black women didn't want, who had jobs, well-mannered, who could learn a language, who made some income, and who has a sense of spirituality, character, and stuff like that. These, oh yeah, the ones they call lame and nerds, the one that black women call lames and nerds. These men, all right, these are who the Latinas like. The dude that's working a 9 to 5. Remember, you can't be working a 9 to 5 with the BAW. You have to have a 6-figure income. You have to be an athlete or somebody. You have to be somebody that's making a 6-figure income. Because now, here we go with the differences between everybody outside the United States versus the women inside the United States, and in particular, the black women. When you listen to what they say on Facebook, in person, in relationships, when you get into a relationship, it's all about them. When you first start the relationship, they'll say it's about us. I could be a good woman to a good man. But once you show you a good man, you have a fight. You have a struggle for everything. All right. If you and I'm gonna point out some big differences. Some big differences. All right. But you have a battle on your hand. All right. Here's the thing. And these TV shows, understanding who's watching these TV shows. The people watching these TV shows are the dudes that have nothing else to do. All right. The dudes that ain't working. So when they get back, right, and the dudes that's female minded, they have the mind of their mama, their sister, or whoever raised them, all their aunts and stuff. And so they used to watching all of this stuff. So they watch all that crap. That's not, and it's dudes that don't care about children. If dudes are watching this, it's dudes that don't care about children, because no children should be up under watching that kind of mess. Shouldn't have it on your TV. All right. So when this woman says that black men treat Latinas better, of course they do, because the men that the Latinas are pulling are not the same men that the black women want. The black women want the thugs. They want the dudes that's getting around with everybody. They want the dude that they can impress to their other girlfriends who didn't want that dude. Right? Chris Rock said it best. She said, men be like, I'm gonna get a woman just like yours. And black women be like, I'm gonna get your man. Right? Not realizing that the man don't belong to the woman. But see, you got to understand that. That's the other flip around, right? So when this woman says that, they're not comparing the same men. The Latinas are comparing the men that the black women didn't want, the ones that work, the ones that do nice things, the ones that are trying to build something. All right. And the reason why it's working for the Latinas, because they're not calling it that man lame. That's the kind of men that their culture told them to pick. the one that could take care of family and stuff. All right. Their culture, that's the kind of man their culture told them to pick. All right. And so basically, what's going on is this woman, Cyan Santana, was comparing men that black women didn't want because they were nice to the black men that black women do want because they're coming out of the prison penal system and they're thugs. All right. And how do we know they're thugs? Because when you go to childtrends.org and you look at the statistics that 61+% to 71%, when you just take out for the Afro men, 71%, 60 to 71% of dudes coming out of prison are the ones producing most of these children by these single mothers that have multiple children. They're dudes coming out of prison, and each one of them are getting a turn. All right. And so this is what you're having, right? So there is a difference, but wait a minute. All right. So we got to wait a minute, because now the so-called black woman has another issue. So you got to wait a minute, because it's going to be a long, long, long time. All right. Understand this. Hold it. Let's see. Let's see. Which one am I going to use first? Okay, let's do this one real quick. Okay. So I want y'all to pay attention to this. All right. And you're going to understand that you're going to really have a clear idea as to why black women are losing. All right. This is going to be a really clear idea as to why they're losing. All right. So I'm going to play this little update so that y'all can understand what happened here. All right. And I want you to understand all right.
Hi guys, here's an update regarding my hot friend looking for a black guy who's also straight, black, and over 60. Okay, she said she did find someone, so we can stop DMing her. Here's her Instagram if you still want to follow her. And we received so much love. Like, it was amazing.
Okay. Understand this, y'all. I want y'all to understand this. That was the white woman who had a white friend looking for an Afro man, and it's the same men that the black women say they want. All right. Now, this is in America. All right. So this is in America. So the white women in America are going after the tall Afro men. The Hispanic women in America, they are going after, especially the Mexican ones. Not so much the Puerto Rican and stuff, the New York kind of people, and not the ones in California, but the ones outside of California. Especially like in Houston, you see a lot of brothers with Mexican or Hispanic women. And in Houston, that's just a thing, right? And these dudes are happy with their woman. All right, that these females are these men are happy with their women. Okay, so this is what's going on. Hey, what's up, Captain Marvel? All right, so hey, what's up, Tone 202? These women are good. So the white women are going after the brothers in the United States, right? And while the so-called black woman is persecuting the good Afro man, putting him in jail, setting him up with their thugs that they really want to sleep with, having their children rob men that's trying to build in the community, having the people protecting the community that form groups be shut down. While they are doing all of this, what Science Santana need to understand is that the men that she is saying that treat Latinas better are not the same brand of men that black women actually choose as mates. So while statistically the black woman is choosing thugs, felons, drug dealers, unemployed men, all right, because this is who makes up most of their children. This is who makes up most of the fathers that they're creating these children by, statistically. So if they're choosing them, then you can't expect them men who presented who they are. I'm out here selling. Matter of fact, a lot of these women allow these dudes to distribute out their homes, so long as they get that kickback. And remember, I keep putting it up. I probably should put it up again in this one. But when given a choice between, what is it? A hustler? No, a scammer, a drug dealer, or a 9 to 5. Most of the majority of black women, especially the younger ones and the older ones, but the majority chose the scammer and the drug dealer when asked this question out on the street, and it's straight from the horse's mouth. Okay, when asked this question on the street, all right, they said they wanted anyone but the good Afro man. All right. And so, and a lot of us have been through some things behind some black woman. All right. Myself had a brother, um, uh, other brothers here in the feed. You know, a lot of you brothers, some of y'all dodged it. Y'all seen it. Y'all seen them put men through some stuff, right? So when Santana says this, there she's talking about two different group of men, because the men that the Latinas pick are not the same dudes that the black woman pick. So of course they're going to be treated differently. Well, hey, we're not saying it's just a black woman, but we're talking about what's going on in America, right? And we're talking about that your chances are better outside of the United States, picking somebody from outside of the United States than picking anybody inside the United States. So that's what we're saying. And so, and even when you look at Latinas that's being done dirty, they're picking the same type of men that so you got a bunch of people in the United States that's trying to be like the bad side of black women. So they're trying to go and they're trying to get all their men. You got the bad ones trying to get the thugs. You got the good ones trying to get the working man that the black woman don't want anyway. And now you just saw the Caucasian woman after the 6 feet man that the black woman want. Right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They get police officers and everything. What's up, Tai Chi? All right. Now, here's something else that's deep. I'm not done yet. Hold on. Let me see what's the name of this. That's not the only one gunning for Afro men. That's not the only one gunning for Afro men. And so the B Dub has a problem. Um, and she has a big problem. The very men that she didn't want, let's see, replying. The very men that she didn't want, the rest of the I think this is it. All right, let me make sure I got the right one. And this might not be a surprise to you, Melissa and Jay Boo. Okay, we're going to do it. All right, I want y'all to pay attention to this. Which one is this one? Oh, let's do Jay Boo first, then we'll do Melissa.
Asking you a question. Okay, how do I get a Filipino girl? I'm a black man and it's hard for me to get one. My friend, if you have been following me, reading a lot of comments in a lot of my videos, then you will find a lot of good Filipina women out here. A lot of Filipinas here are looking for black men, so keep watching my videos and keep checking the comments because they're just out here. They're everywhere. It's not hard to find them. It's only hard if
Okay, so it's only hard for the dudes that all right, you can't be lazy about this if you want somebody, right? And I think that's most of the problem. What's happening is a lot of dudes have gotten so lazy, and you got Filipinas. All right, there's a woman called Filipina P, and there's a dude that was in the military, right? He's living in the Philippines, and Filipinas are literally looking for brothers. All right, they are advertising for brothers. Okay, they are advertising for the brothers. The Filipinas are, and if Steve was in here, he could tell you that the Filipinas they are deeply melanated, even darker than her, for the most part. Okay, and so basically, and this is the issue that the BAW is having, right? And so this is a lose 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 for them, and it's a lose 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 for them because now everybody is seeing that the Afro man, and I'm gonna tell you what's going on. When me, Charles Tyler, and Griggs, back way back 2014 and 15, when we was talking about Brazil, making the videos about Brazil and stuff like that, then going to Brazil, got involved with the NGO down there and stuff. Um, that started a lot more brothers traveling, but they only traveled to Brazil primarily. And then some of the brothers start traveling to Colombia and to the DR, and DR became a really hot spot because it was cheaper, right? And so more brothers got passports. As brothers start learning that language, brothers start checking out Colombia as well. All right, where I'm at right now. All right, and so what's going on? Um, what's going on is, oh yeah, yes, 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 yes. And so what's going on now? Now that the women understand, so what happened is that the dudes traveling showed that they had enough income to take care of women, and we became the number one choice outside of the United States. The dudes that are dumbass in the United States, and even in the black community with the black, because basically they tell you if they could all get a Caucasian man before you, they would do that. What's up, young boy 24? These women are putting each other on game because they like the way that the Afro man did a lot of things. All right. They like the way we do. They like the way that we genuinely look to build those that are, and they know the difference. Brothers come there, I'm just here to play, or I'm here to build. So the ones that's here to play is playing, and the ones that's building is building, and they choosing the women, and all the women are happy for it. All right. But never before have I seen such advertisement from a bunch of women telling Afro men, no, we want you. And not African men from the 54 countries in the continent of Africa. I just wanted to make that clear because there's 54 countries. They're talking about the Afro brothers here in the United States. All right. And so let me get to the other one. Now, this one is going to discuss the major problem and the pushback that the Black woman is giving, right? And notice how, well, I'll explain it. Y'all have to see it first. Okay, y'all gonna have to just see this first. All right.
Cooking for you every day because she
All right. So I want y'all to understand the comment. This woman says, yeah, she's cooking for you every day because she wants to get that green card. Now, there's two things wrong with this. Well, I'm gonna let her bust her. So the Black women came after these Filipinas, but the Filipinas don't play with the Black woman. They'll come right back at them because if the Black woman would realize when you go to the Philippines and talk to the Ida people and stuff like that, they know that they were melanated before the Spanish got there, and then the Americans during World War II and one. All right, they understand before the Americans and the Spanish got there that they were mainly my color. You know, they were brown, Afro, melanated. Okay, let her bust her out.
wants to get that green card. Melissa, my friend, even if we don't cook every day, we can still get green card. And have you not noticed that a lot of your people in the Western world, they go to the Philippines to find us Filipina? Yep, that's right. And you know what I discovered in the Western world, especially Western women? Cooking for their husband is a big deal, and apparently it's hard to do. But for us Filipina, cooking is nothing. Cooking is super easy thing to do. We can cook everything, and heck, we can even cook our husband if they cheat on us. And I know that a lot of girls here in the Western world, they cook their husband microwavable food. If not, McDonald's and French fries.
Okay, the Filipinos ain't playing with the BW. They are not playing with the B-dub. Let's just keep it real. And this is the problem. And so what happens is as all the rest of the women see the value in the good Afro man, the Black woman is going into attack mode. And because they have all these outlets, they have these magazines, the system have given them everything to fight and destroy good Afro men. And the one thing that they could not see coming is that a lot of men would listen to us recon boys, men, us men that would go outside of the country and tell the brothers what is really going on, how you can pick up a woman. No, it isn't easy. Like they're going to drop out of the sky, but if you do a little work, when you do pick one up, you'll have a better relationship with them than you do right now with the Black woman. And you are not going to be at war with these women. They are not going to disrespect, they're not going to down you, they're not going to talk bad about you, they're not going to trash you. And more than anything, they're not going to try to set you up to have your life lost. Period. They're not going to try to set you up to have you destroyed by the system. All right. If you stick with them, they'll stick with you. They're not going to divorce you just because after 14 years and then put up all kind of pictures showing their body as if they still got it over these young sisters. All right. Um, and I'm gonna say this about the Filipinas too. The Filipinas, they say we are very territorial. And if you are upfront with them, because there's one of the brothers here that has a Filipino woman. If you are upfront with them about your intentions, like I want you and stuff like that, but you're not going to stop me from talking to whomever I want to talk to, and that's just the way it is going to be. And if she like you, she's going to be okay with it, even though she's going to try to change your mind, but she's not going to try to destroy you for it, right? Because at the end of the day, if you can take care of her and you can take care of somebody else, they will kind of be a little selfish about it, but they'll be okay because you were straight up front. Because when they want you, right? And now this is if you're up front. A lot of dudes try to be slick and hide and jump like you have to do in the United States. And like me, I'm saying, no, you don't have to do it here. If a woman can't get with your program, she ain't the one for you. All right. But here's the thing. Basically, a lot of these women are calling the B dub out for being lazy. Hold it. And not caring. And here it's more to it. They're saying that the black woman don't care about her family, her man, or her children. Remember, because she don't cook for anybody. She expects everybody to lay down and worship her. Right? And so the women who are advertising themselves saying, and these are pick me's, but they don't mind being pick me because they were trained by their mom to be a good woman, and you'll have a man to grow old with instead of wishing somebody was in your house. You have all this money, you have this degree, and you have emptiness. No children, no nothing. No man, no children, nobody to come by and see you. You buried your father, your mother. You buried them because they're older than you. All right, and you have nothing to show for your life in your old age. Where these other cultures, they go around their grandparents and stuff and see people come over, have cookouts and stuff like that, and they relish in that. The respect that their grandmother and grandfather get. All right. And I'm invited to a lot of these things in Brazil. I had a friend, she was getting married, her fiance, and they had a big party. And it was just a lot of people there. All right. And it was just something else. And we can't do that. And you had a lot of men there. So you had a lot of men there, a lot of women there, a lot of children there. All right, we can't do that. You have a bunch of women and some children, and you have men trying to not get near that in this day and age. All right, so they're calling these women straight up lazy. And they're calling these women lazy because instead of black women examining themselves and say, we need to change as a group, right? Because you got a few black women that's salt of the earth, but that's a few, not enough for all the good men, right? Instead of saying we need to change, they get mad and they're trying to attack the Latinas. They're trying to attack the Filipinas, but that don't work with the Latinas or the Filipinas. All right. And so it creates another issue with them that these women can't overcome. So you got this issue that the men that the black women want will never treat them well because by nature, they don't treat anything well. Why do you think they went to prison? So when you pick bad and evil men, don't expect them to be like the good men. And so you can't go and say black men do treat Latinas better because you don't talk to them. black men. You talk to thugs, you talk to drug dealers, and you talk to felons. All right, those are the bottom 16%. If 54% of the Afro men don't have children and are single, and 36% are have wives, then who you talking to? Who you having all these babies by? All right, the bottom 16%, and it's not the top. They're not talking to the top because the top don't want them either. Nobody wants somebody that's trying to destroy them. All right. And when you see the top is going out trying to find some Latina. And this was her quote, black guys cater to us, Spanish girls, especially, she continued. I like they, you know what? Let me not get into it. Black girls going to take it personal. They're going to be like, anyway, I'm done with the poppies. All right. So she is done with these, right? She is done with these. But let's talk about something else. Vanessa stayed with Kobe through that whole ordeal. And she understood that, and a lot of these Latina women, they understand, so long as Kobe was taking care of home, which he was, right? So he didn't let his little extramarital things take away from his home until it got in the news because the woman was trying to extort him. And then she never had a problem out of Kobe after that because of that incident. See, a lot of brothers are starting to wake up and say that these women ain't even worth it as an extramarital thing. So they're getting their Latina wives and they sticking with them. And the B Dubs was so upset about this because this woman got all that money. And these women thought that it should have gone to them, but these women would have left at a drop of a hat. They would have divorced them, tried to get half, get the children. These women count money, the B Dubs. They count money. All right. And so that's why they're losing. And brothers are starting it. They're watching, they're paying attention what these women have done to these athletes, to these stars, quote unquote. And they don't want none. They're like, oh no, we don't want none of this. If they could do it to people that can afford it, they'll destroy me. And see, therein lies the problem. These dudes are understanding that they'll be destroyed. Now, here we go. Watch this. Look at what she's saying. All right, that's the dark Latina. The light Latina. The singing Latina. Remember Mimi tried to sing to me? She can't. Side note, they ain't gonna diss me for it because it's the truth. Outside of the people that actually make it into the industry, Brazilians as a whole, they don't sing. They just don't sing. So let me repeat that again. You got the dark Latina. Latina girls belong with black guys. All right. And then you got the singing ones. She was singing, but I'm pretty sure that the song she was lip syncing to would probably be banned on. Okay. So this is what you got. So they're losing. All right. They're losing. They're losing to everybody. All right. These are the Haitians. So I want it understood that these are the Haitians. All right. And the Haitians are fine. A lot of brothers that have gone to the DR and ran across some Haitians, all right, that weren't careful, they got taken by some of them because they're fine. All right, they are lookers, the Haitian women, and they are as dark as me. All right, understand this. So they are lookers, right? And so basically, a lot of these brothers are going to Brazil, they're going to Haiti, and getting them a bunch of women. And the only thing that these women have to show for it is the wall, which is undefeated, right? The wall is undefeated. And they don't even know what to do about it because it is undefeated, right? Now, here's the thing, and this is another thing that Latinas understand. Everybody hits that wall. Women, they understand that they're going to hit that wall. The Latina women, the B dubs don't, right? So what happens when they hit that wall is they have a whole lot of family that's there that comforts them, that elevates them, right? And what happens is, yeah. All right. So instead of trying to up their game, instead of trying to improve themselves, because here's the thing, I'm gonna tell you the other thing and why they're losing, the B dubs. They're losing because they think it's all about looks. So they say, okay, we're gonna go to the gym, but it's not about looks. It's about what this woman says. You don't cook for anybody, you don't cater to men. All right, you go in wanting and seeking to be worshipped by these men. All right. The reason why the pimps, the thugs and stuff get in so good, because they come in with game. All right, let me tell you what game is. Game is lying. Like, I got game. No, you got lies. Okay, so you lie to women to get with them. I don't pay no money. Oh, so you lie to women to get with them. Make them think you're going to present something to you that you're not really going to do because you don't have it to present. All right. And then you finesse them out of some coochie. All right. That's what game is. Right. And so basically, so them dudes ain't going to be happy either. See, because as things dry up and the B dubs start getting, and it's a fit of jealous rage that they're having. And that's why they're trying to attack. They're trying to attack everybody. Instead of improving themselves, what they're trying to do is shame the good man for wanting better for their lives, understanding that the B dub is not better for them. Then they want to go after and try to attack the women that like the men, the Afro men, because they see them as the pinnacle of manhood. Remember, we have a history of fighting an oppressor, not oppressing. Think about that. That's our history. We're not the oppressor. So when our money is equal to theirs, they like the flavor we bring. All right. And that's why the only reason some Caucasians are getting this popular, because they're taking they're trying to learn from us, be a little bit of us in attitude. All right. And so this is it. And so the Filipino women, though, these women don't understand. They're Afro. They're really, really Afro. And you really don't know until you start talking to them, FaceTiming. A lot of them are real Afro. You got some lighter ones, but they're pretty much dark. All right. This is why a lot of them bleach themselves. This is why a lot of them bleach themselves. All right. And so basically, the B dubs are losing because they have um, they offer nothing to a family. When I asked that question like years ago, that question, for those of you that knew, the brothers that's already here, they know that this question was first asked by me in a video I did on the degrees that Black women were doing, how there was twice as many Afro men graduating with a bachelor's degree than were in prison, and the B-Dub was still picking the dudes in prison over the dudes with degrees. All right. And I asked the question, and here's the whole question. Besides the degree, money, and coochie, what do you bring to the table? That was the whole question. It wasn't what do you bring to the table. So you could say, you take coochie, money, and a degree off the table. Because a man that got his SH together don't need none of that. The Caucasian man you work for needs you to have that. But a man trying to build a family don't need that. So what do you bring to the table? You don't help the man manage anything. You fight him on everything he tries to do. You don't cook for him. You don't cook anything you like. You make what you want to make the way you want to make it. And if he don't like it, you have a problem with him, then he got to go. You see what I'm saying? And the thugs, because all they trying to do is hit. They don't care what you do. They really don't. Because all they trying to do is get it and go. Leave you with a package. Why? Because when you hit them up for child support, it's only going to be $13 a month because they don't make no money. They don't make no money above table. All right, I'm going to see if I can find it. Maybe it's on let me see. I'm going to see if I can find it on Facebook. All right. Give me a moment, y'all. I'm going to see if I can find what they're looking for on Facebook. Girl pepper sprays. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let me see. Let me see if it comes up. Hey, where did this happen in New York? Right. So you don't, and that's the other thing. You don't need game once you leave the United States. Hey, brother, where did it happen at in New York? The pepper spray incident. Because I'll pull it up if I can. All right. So you don't need game, right? And what you do need is a little bit. You need a little bit of the language. Because if you know enough to introduce yourself and stuff like that, um, then game is not necessary. Hey, King Groove, send it to my messenger. New Jersey. Okay. New York or New Jersey. Let's see. Oh, okay, no problem. Hey, send it to my thing because I can't seem to find it. It's Pittsburgh, man, so the last. I can't find it. Walmart, Walmart. Okay, I can't seem to find it. Are you sure it's Walmart or McDonald's? Hey, if you can put the link up here, King Groove. Oh, okay. Okay, I can't open up too many YouTube things. I'll see. Girl gets pepper sprayed in McDonald's. Oh, that's good enough. Let's try that. I think I have it. Is this it? Hold on for a second. Is this it? I think I found it, y'all. I think I found it. And they want to know that the woman deserved it. So let's look and see. All right, I found it on Facebook. Is this it right here? All right, King Rude, tell me if this is it right here. It looked like this is it. Okay. So yeah, it looked like there's a lot of beef going on here. Let's see this. See what this is all about. And this is she went and took somebody else's drink. Well, that's enough of that. All right. It goes to show you no one is playing with them anymore. It goes to show you no one is playing with them anymore. Everyone is tired. It comes up, remember Ezekiel 16, the whole chapter of Ezekiel 16. It says that everybody on all sides are going to come against her. Those whom she loved and those whom she hated. For the way she's conducted herself, people are tired. They're not playing it anymore. It's over. It is so over for them. And the thing is, and the thing is, right? What you have, what they have left, what they have left, what they have left is the dudes that never meant them any good because to make money, to get notoriety, they told these women anything they wanted to hear. Dudes like me that was straight up with them that told them the follies of their ways. Okay. That, you know what? It's over. Okay. It's over. We're not going to talk to you anymore. We're not going to help you anymore. All right. And so we're gone. All right. We're gone. You chose jailbirds over us. You chose felons over us. All right. We're gone. We're out. And and so the only ones that's going to be left is the panderers. But here's the problem with panderers. The simp and the panderers. They're not going to be much comfort because they're going to be going through hell anyway. All right. Because there's a level of punishment that the Most High have for people that help the community become unrighteous by fighting the men that was trying to do better for the community. All right. And that's the thing, right? It's over for them. People are tired. Everyone is tired. And they're leaving, they're losing so bad. They're losing so bad. And the reason why they're losing so bad is that at the end of the day, everybody, no dude wants to be not appreciated. Oh no, it's just I'm on this channel, and one of the things is that I was on TikTok, and my thing was blowing up on TikTok, right? And TikTok shut it down. The women, black women, and TikTok stuff is done in such a way that black women got rid of a lot of Afro men that was speaking the truth about the community, right? And in one swoop this weekend, they got rid of most of us. And the only ones left on TikTok are the simps. As a matter of fact, I'm logged off, right? I still have 2 more channels up there, but I'm not going to be doing a whole lot there, right? Now, at this time, if people would, if y'all want to have something to say, something to add to this discussion, have any comments about the new information? This might not have been new information for some of y'all. Some of y'all, like many of us, probably seen this coming a mile away. All right. Oh yeah. Speaking of YouTube notices, don't forget to subscribe. When subscribe, click the notification bell. And if you didn't get if you're here but you didn't get the notice, go and make sure you're still subscribed, because some of the times YouTube like to take my subscriptions away. All right, they do funky mess like that. All right, and so for the brothers that that donated to me this live, thanks a lot. So as y'all pop in, hey, what's up, King Groove?
What's
Let me
happening,
just say
brother?
this real quick. So we're taking, thanks to some of y'all, thanks to some of y'all donating, we're taking the bass and the amp. So some of you brothers are coming down to Brazil. I'll be in Brazil until February, from November to February. If you're there, I'll take you by the NGO in the hood, and shoot, if you play. All right, so we already got remember the studio that I had in my home? Well, that's basically in Brazil now. All right. Yes. So basically, I'll be there until February. And so we're taking the bass. I'm taking the bass and the amp, thanks to the donations I got. Yeah, I'm gonna take the bass and the amp and try to make that work. All right. So what's up, King Groove? You got the floor.
I just, man, just wanted to say, and thanks for showing the brothers that video. You know, that's a prime example that they're losing on all fronts, and that ain't the only one. That's just one of many. You know what I'm saying? That these Latinas, these white women, these Asians, they're not gonna take it no more, man. They're not gonna be bullied.
Trying to tell them.
You know what I'm saying? They not, man. The
Hey,
thing that
go ahead.
Now, I was just saying, the thing that gets me, and I hope brothers would look at that video after we get off of here and actually listen to what that black woman was saying to that Puerto Rican chick. I mean, she was like really coming for her, threatening her like she hated her or something. She didn't even know that girl. She just saw a pretty light-skinned Hispanic woman with long hair and fair skin, and she was mad. She, you know, she had her little, I don't know what you call that thing on top of her head. I guess
Bonnet.
man, it kind of looked like, yeah, like a mini bonnet with kind of like popcorn before the seeds pop, was just all over her head. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
she saw that cute Latina and was like, dang, ain't nobody paying attention to my old dusty butt looking like Miss Celie on that rock in there. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's all I had to say, man. It's just it's out of line that they still think they can compete with the rest of the women in not even the world, but this country. Like nobody's dealing with that no more.
Uh-huh. And here's the thing, they would have been able to compete. They can't compete because they don't, like I said, they don't bring anybody. What's out about Jasmine? Um, so go ahead, you up, Mr. Pirate Brains.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment to what you said about Haitian women about Haiti, and I wanted to tell the brother to be careful because a lot of Haitians, if they're here in the United States, they done took on the persona of the BW. And
Yes.
I know from experience, I'm not telling you from guessing. I was with a Haitian woman for 7 years. Both of her daughters were tyrants. I mean, just literal tyrants. And then she had a stroke. I stayed with her. I helped nurse her back to health. And about a year afterwards, I had a heart attack. Man, she came to the hospital and left me.
Mm-hmm.
She left me just like that. She said I'm faking. I'm sitting in a hospital bed. The doctor's telling me what's wrong with me. She tells me stop faking, you know.
Man,
And
you need to work for Hollywood because that's some hellified acting if the doctors are full with all them lab tests
exactly,
and stuff.
exactly. And you know, you had mentioned, well, yeah, you know, you go to Haiti. Man, you don't want to go to Haiti. Haiti, they have destroyed their country. Their country is you can take the worst favela in Brazil, and you know I've been to Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can take the worst favela in Brazil, multiply that times 15, and all of Haiti's like that.
Right. And but this is what I was saying, that when you go to that's why I said when you get it, go to the Dominican Republic and meet a Haitian, right? And here's the key. If you meet women in a place where you can stay there, that's one thing, right? And I told you the only countries that you can get a woman there and be comfortable with bringing a woman back here, that's Colombia, parts of Mexico, Thailand. The Philippines is kind of iffy. You're flipping a coin there.
See,
All
my
right.
uncle married a Thailand-based woman, and he married her back in the 60s. He brought her back. He was stationed in Thailand during the Vietnam War, and he
Mm-hmm.
came back. He just passed away last year. She stayed with him from like 1968 until now, recently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's a very loyal woman. She cool, man. I remember when I went back to Maryland to
Ooh,
my
Thai
mother.
cooking.
Huh?
I said Thai woman cooking. Go ahead, tell the story.
Oh yeah, I went back to Maryland and I told her I miss her cooking. I hadn't had her cooking since the 1970s. She invited us over to her house. Man, she prepared a whole luau. We couldn't even get up and go get the food. She would come back and fill our glasses up with apple juice. She made 4 different kinds of meat. She made
I'm glad you said that.
she made this hot salad that,
Mhm.
that I loved because she made it when I was in back in the 70s because we had to no that was the 80s. I had to she served us napkins so we could wipe our face off. That's how hot it was. And
Uh-huh.
she made that salad especially for me. And I mean,
There it is,
it
brother.
was so much food. I don't know how she did it all.
All right, now let me say this real quick. And this is the other biggest, I mean, giant difference between women outside the United States and the black woman and how they treat us. Now, here's the thing. We've been talking to these women, telling them what's going on, telling them what would make us happy. And the black woman in the United States did not give a F, right? Because it's just us, right? What's up,
Right.
Ned Flanders? And so this is the difference. When I go to Brazil and I walk into the NGO, if they fry certain things, they know I like certain things. They know I like lemonade. If some of the times, like Mimi's mom will ask me for stuff, and even though we're not talking, like she'll ask me for stuff. When I go by, like I like the lemonade that they make, and she will make stuff for me, knowing that I'm coming by. She will cook for me, or she'll even make Mimi cook for me, knowing that I'm coming by, and Mimi will do that, right? Um, when I go to certain people's houses, they cook for me, or if they know I like something, they'll give me what I like. Here in Colombia, here in Colombia, one of the places that I stay, what's up, Rasan? One of the places, hotels that I stay in Colombia, in Cartagena, they know I like pancakes. And so they go and buy the stuff they need to make pancakes when they know I came up for breakfast. Now breakfast for me is a little later because they're going to make pancakes because I like pancakes. I like eggs a certain way, and they will cook them at this hotel. They'll get everybody else. They'll go, what you want, this, that, and the other, and they'll cook my food to the way that I like it, right? And that's because I showed kindness to them when I came there, and since then, they just been cool with me, right? And it's just crazy like this. Now, in the United States, even when I talk to have a little girlfriend, it's a fight to do something I like.
Oh
We're
yeah.
talking about people that I befriended, and they're going to look out for things. They're going to make stuff that I like because I was good to them. But even if even with me being good to a woman that I'm in a relationship with in the United States, they're like, F you, we don't care what you like. It's all about me, right? And
Yeah.
and and then it's a struggle. It's a struggle to have a relationship in the United States. Now, you got some salt of the earth women in the United States that will do stuff for you, but they are like a unicorn. They are like finding a ruby. Literally, they're rare. They are rare. The majority of the population don't give a damn about you, and they'll tell you F you in a minute. All right, and they don't care. That's the difference. That is the major thing. If the black woman could fix that and learn to cater for the men and be happy about it, because the reason why I am so effective in making these friends and doing what I do, because I like doing it. I like being of service and seeing the happiness on children's faces when I come through. Even when I don't have anything, they're still happy. Like
Well,
that time.
I saw an interview of Muhammad Ali, and this is in his youth, and he's in the interview. He said that, and he was talking to, I think, David Frost. I don't know if you remember David
Real
Frost.
quick, hold it. Hold that thought. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the thumbs up. All right. Just wanted to hit that out there for the new people that popped in. Make sure you're still subscribed because YouTube is funny. But go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember David Frost. He did that Nixon Frost interview back in the day. Well, anyway,
Uh,
so what wound up happening is he said that, well, if you got 1,000 snakes and 100 of those snakes are poisonous, but you can't tell the difference,
Mm-hmm.
And are you
I
gonna
saw,
let
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
are you gonna let those 1,000 snakes in there, knowing that 100 of them are poisonous, but you can't tell the difference? We got far more than 60% of our women contaminated with this disease. And for the few sisters that we got that are real, you can't even tell the difference because a lot of them now, since Kevin Samuels has died, are popping up with these channels acting like they in our favor, but they not. You know, they just
Uh-huh.
fake it. And a
They've been
lot of
running this
brothers are getting,
game for like 40 years now, brother.
excuse me?
Now they've been running what you talking about right there is they've been running that game for about 40 years right now. I mean, I first saw it, I guess back in like 89 and 90 on what was it, Sally Jesse Raphael, Donahue, Geraldo, all those shows that Sister Shahrazad Ali went on. And you had an audience of a whole bunch of BAWs attacking her, coming for her head, and a few simps that support them. Even check this out, because I like to have receipts on these people who be claiming to be for the Afro men and the Afro community. That bald-headed Ayanna Van Zant was calling herself a Yoruba priestess back then. Now all of a sudden she's
Yeah,
some kind of
yeah.
Christian pastor. I keep telling brothers, I don't know why y'all would listen to her. She was worshiping spirits and ancestors. Now she's like Baptist or something.
Uh-huh. Here's the
Yeah,
thing. Let me say this. Let me say this real quick. All right. So the thing with this is all fake. A lot of these women are filling Kevin Samuel's spaces because he made money there, and everything is about making money. That's why a lot of these dudes have a lot of these show podcasts and stuff with women and men on it. If they were really serious about solving stuff, they would be having a conversation with just men, maybe get some ideas from a few women, but this is something for us to figure out because we are the seed makers. We make the children. We literally make the seed that produces the children, and where we place that seed will determine what kind of life the community produces. Okay, and so all of these women are fake. All of the women are fake because no man should be following them. If we're going to be scriptural, if we're going to be spiritual, or if we're going to be strong men, you will go follow men and hash things out. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, I was just,
No, Mr. Private Ray.
oh, my bad. Go ahead.
oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. What's your name, sir?
King Groove.
King Group. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I turned 60. I turned 61 at the end of August. So I've grown up through the 70s, um,
Hello.
80s.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I was, I was in junior high school in 72. So I grew up and I saw the change in women. I mean, back in the 70s, it wasn't hard to get with a woman. It wasn't
Mm-mm.
it
I
wasn't
wouldn't
hard
know.
to have a girlfriend. Social media has it was getting destroyed with in the event of having abortion. But after that, the social media tore it up, and you can't compete with it when you got uh when a girl getting 200 DMs a day, and you just one guy, and you competing against a whole bunch of simps blowing sunshine up a woman's behind this ugly as sin.
But here's the thing though. So, all right, social media is big, right? But social media is big everywhere. They got it in Brazil. It's here in Colombia. Why is it that the B dub in the United States is so much worse by a landslide than all the rest of the women? They got social media in the Philippines. Why are they so much worse? All right, and I have this is my take on it, right? Um, my take is that the women, we have no elder women. All of our elder women, like in the 70s and 60s, went in on that feminist mess, seeking vanity and power, and they destroyed their daughters, right? In a way that no other group of women outside of the United States did, because they didn't have that feminist movement seeking the power of men. And they didn't seek the power of men, but because there was something to being a man that the women outside of the United States knew was significant and important, you know.
Well,
And
Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah,
at the
and she
beginning.
was with the Klan too.
Yeah, so this was the plan, and they changed the laws to protect the black woman. So let me give you an example. You take a Latino man, his wife get out of pocket, he gonna get in that behind,
uh-huh.
and the Latina woman knows it, and she's never gonna disrespect him in mass.
Right.
She'll get caught with that beer bottle upside that
Yeah,
grill.
yeah. She'll get caught up. And not only that, the Latino man has another country to go back to, because
That's true.
if she
Yeah,
does
yeah, yeah.
something, and he decides to really get in on her, he can cross the border and go back home. We don't have another home to go to.
We can't even go to our mama's house because the mama gonna side with the BAW.
Yeah, we don't
Exactly,
even have
because
that.
the sisterhood clan. But that's why
Right.
they're losing.
And the laws protect them in all of their foulness. And the only option that we really have is like what Nabi says all the time, is that we got to have our passports and leave this godforsaken place.
Exactly. And this is why I say we have to
Amen to
have
that.
that. All right. Because this is what they didn't. No one expected the mass exodus of brothers going out to seek wives from somewhere else. The B Dubs thought that I'm gonna have a bad attitude and I'm gonna destroy this man into perpetuity. Because where he going to go? All right. But they made a couple of mistakes. One, they never showed the working man any love after the 60s, because they was like, well, we can do your job, so we don't need you, right? And so we was like, yeah, you really don't need us. The government is your new man now. All right. And so they said, well, since the government are man and we still need the D, we'll just get the thugs and stuff like that. And so that left us completely out of the picture. What they didn't count on is the movement that brothers was going to start going to other places, that people were going to start watching my channel, watching Charles Tyler and stuff. And they were like, oh, wow, he's showing all this stuff from Brazil, this, that, and the other. And then dudes start going to Colombia. And then you have the dudes in Thailand. And so what happens is that as brothers start getting these passports, they start learning languages and stuff, and they started jetting. But see, here's the surprise. Everybody appreciates the dude that come near knowing how, like, I speak a little Spanish. I speak enough Spanish that I went outside my room and they had a conference yesterday with a bunch of women. And these women saw me come out the room. Now, I'm not 6 feet, but when I came out the room, these women was like giggling, hey, hey. They didn't know that much English, but I knew enough Spanish to have a conversation with them. All
It
right.
was like,
So
yo, American Negro.
they called me over. They had some sisters. They had every hue there, and so I was talking to like four or five of them women, and had I had been in need when I could have got like all bunch of WhatsApp numbers, but they were really interested in me, and so I just went and just had a casual conversation, because there was like four or five of them, and they just kept staring at me and stuff. Now, mind you, I look like me, and I'm not 6 feet, right? And even the tall women here have short husbands, because a height requirement is not necessary for these Latinas here, and they look better than the women making that height requirement in the U.S. Why? Because they're taking care of themselves in a feminine way, So they're not going to the gym lifting 1,000 pounds of weight to gain muscle and a six pack. No, they just regular round the way females. all right, giggling and stuff, interested in the brother and stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah, bruh.
When I went to Argentina, you know, I think I told you this. I went there in '88. I turned 28 in Buenos Aires, and I stayed there until like '94, and then I went to Brazil, Peru, and you know, I went all through South America, and the women treated me incredibly. I mean, they really treated me good,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of my friends that I told about it, they couldn't believe it because it was so. I mean, we talking '88, '89. It was unfathomable for a black man that wasn't in the military to go and live in South America. I mean, think about
Yes.
it. Now
Yes.
we doing it, and it's like, okay, let me get my passport. Back then, people were scared. My parents thought I was moving to the jungle.
Oh
Buenos
man,
Aires is bigger than New York, man. It's 15 million people.
damn.
Right. And so and then when you really look at this, right? When you really look at this, all right. So if I take you out and I show you out here, all right, yeah, you're gonna get hit by a car, you run in the street here, right? Um,
I
but
saw some
here,
of that too.
yeah. So but here, right, it's a better life than I would be living in the United States because it's a happier life. It's a more relaxed life. All right. In Brazil, all right, I have more fun in Brazil. All my music instruments are there. So I can go teach the children, just go up there, practice on my drums, make sure there's not another class, put together a band. Now that we're going to have the bass down there. And thank you all for for those that donated, because y'all making this stuff possible to just put together a band and stuff. Um, and and it's easier to get a music teacher for them when I'm not there because there's equipment there. There's my keyboard, the red one, all right, the red cord. So that's there. They'll have the amp and stuff. And so, yeah, it's just crazy like this, right? And so there's a lot, there's a lot that is that is being done, and people are surprised that but man, all those children look black. And I was like, yeah, when you get out, you start to find out the truth of a lot of places, not the junk that the United States media wanted you to know. All right, you find out the truth. Yes, it's mostly Afro there in Brazil, and they call themselves Afro Brazilians. They don't call themselves black. All right.
You know what? All of the BWs that travel, I know quite a few BWs that have gone to Africa. And when I say Africa, I mean Nigeria, the Gambia,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Ghana. Everywhere they go, they bring chaos and
Yes.
destruction. Everywhere they go. I mean, in the Gambia, I was watching some of the YouTube channels. These women were just acting a fool, and some of the ones from England were acting that way too. The BWs from England,
Yes.
and
I
Mhm.
mean, they're the common denominator for foolishness. Like there was a video, I guess a news clip of a few years ago in like some small, I guess small city in Iowa. Now you know it ain't a bunch of us in certain parts, mainly the whole state, but I'm just saying like they showed a club, a mixed type of club like techno, hip hop, whatever. You didn't see any black people coming out of the club. You saw the ambulance and the police. They showed the girl's mugshot. First, they said that a girl got mad that another girl was talking to a guy that the girl liked. So the girl grabbed her and like body slammed the girl, did like some damn wrestling Sergeant Slaughter. You know what I'm talking about? Just, I mean, man, do you smell what the bonnet is cooking? type of move on the little white girl. And the little white girl was in a neck brace, like they had broke
Lord have
parts of
mercy.
her neck. She just looking around like, damn. And I'm like, okay, it's like 300 people in that club. There was one BAW, and we ended
She
up
was
with a
like
neck brace. So
assassinated.
yes, Mr. Pirate Brain, wherever they go, it's almost like Pandora's box get open as soon as they open their mouth. I don't care where they could be in heaven. That's why the Lord ain't letting them up there, because he like,
But here's the thing. You want me to tell you why that is? Because they are unchecked in the United States, they think they'll be unchecked everywhere. They think that the United States that gives them the power to destroy their own community also gives them this power to destroy the communities in the rest of the world. But the United States isn't in charge of the rest of the world. Brittany Griner, whatever. She's finding that out. The two women that went to
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia
Yes,
and
sir.
decided they want to put that LGBT out in their,
Mm-hmm.
they don't play that there, right?
What
But
happened to
they
those
felt
women?
entitled, like what the day that army, that the United States was going to send the army over there to get them. No, you got to act. You got to have some act right. You better have some act right. But here's the thing. The other thing is they can't compete with the women for their men, the other women's men. And so I showed you last week the video where this black woman say, "We'll come and take your man. We're gonna come down to Brazil and take your man." I was like, "Good luck with that.
For
Good
real.
luck with that," because them women don't care. Because their men, nobody wants them because the way they are, the fact that they don't bring anything to the table, they don't cook clean, they're going to run roughshod over a dude. They're talking about, we'll get you a green card. So basically, you're bargaining with them already right off jump. You're saying to us, them women only want you for a green card. But then in the same breath, you're saying, as a black woman, we'll give a man a green card to come back with us so that we can just rub it in the Afro man's face. And the Afro man don't care because we're just trying to be happy. We're not trying to show the black woman anything. We're not trying to compete with her. We're not trying to say we're better than you. We're trying to say we want peace and you're not offering it, so we're going to get it elsewhere. And that's all we're trying to say. And that's all we said. And we weren't trying to do, what's up, SE Made? We're not trying to do anything. We just did it. And that's why they're so surprised. Understand this, brothers. As y'all know, I don't do a lot of things with females. I don't try to cater to females. I really don't want a lot of them on my thing. I trust Bertha. I trust four females. I wish Mecca Dawn was around. I wonder what I need to write her.
What
But
happened to Megan Dawn?
she went back to the DR.
Oh,
But anyway, um, so I don't have them on here because I wanted to keep this between the brothers because they shut things down. They don't want a conversation. They don't want to improve. They don't want to know what's wrong, and they don't want to know why we don't want nothing to do with them, right? And it wasn't looks; it's how you treat us. You can't treat people bad and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna treat them like garbage," and tell them that it's good for them the way I treat. No, brothers like, no, we're gonna go get treated better. So what's happening is the disrespect that they've shown the good Afro man in the United States have preceded them in other countries when they go. So other men don't mind getting that free, easy. It's easy money for them and easy coochie. Because when the woman go, they go to these other countries trying to be the man. So they'll go to this country leading with their money, this, that, and the other, and flossing and stuff, and allowing these dudes to run through them, talking about, oh yeah, we had fun and this, that, and the other, and made themselves a little more or less desirable to any man. Is because now the men in these other countries, like in Jamaica, they know that when the BW come there, that they can run through them on them, the guides on them boat trip, and they know so much that it's now an open secret that a lot of these women are going down there to get run through by the Jamaicans because they like them. Now they like, and so they're coming back. Yo, yeah, that's right. I had me in a Jamaican. We don't care, right?
Yeah.
Nobody
How
is
much did you pay that fool?
and nobody is marrying them. They paid for the boat, they paid for the raft, they paid for his services, and they paid to get done. All right. And
Tay Diggs was
they
broke.
want to come back and brag about that. Yeah, so we could do what you do. And I was like, that isn't what we would do. Because our job is to pay, really, literally, when you really think about it, it is to provide resources or to show we can provide resources. It's your job to be able to receive the resources we provide, and in exchange, you build a relationship with us. All right. And then we grow things together. But no, you don't want that. And so you get put on Front Street, but you're not on Front Street just with us. The whole world knows. And so when you go, you can't compete with the women. Oh, there's a South African woman talking about, yes, brothers need to come to South Africa, but leave that 50-50 there. And if you can buy into our culture a little bit in South Africa, and I have reservations about Africa and South Africa. Now, Eswatini, that's good. That would be different. I would like to go to Eswatini, right? But because I like their culture there. All right, that's where the Zulus pretty much are in real good force, right? But
I have a friend in South Africa that does a lot of remixes for my records, and he he used to go out with this beautiful South African woman, and they wound up breaking up. And he told me you can't really have a relationship with them because they're turning to like our women now, and
yes,
that's because they have a white supremacist society, and they trying to do the same destruction to the black, the African men in South Africa.
right. And well, here's the thing. The thing that worried me about South Africa. Remember the old videos I put up a while back with them bleaching, with all the bleaching that was going on down there? That was South Africa. Remember the bleach cream, and the woman was selling that bleach cream out. That was South Africa with all the weaves. I'm not going to be comfortable in any country where the majority of the women wear white weaves. I'm
Hey,
just saying.
that's I tell you what, Nigeria, they're doing it too. Look at all them girls that's like high yellow or light peanut butter complexion. When it seemed like 10 years ago they was darker, you can look at the facial features and tell they're supposed to be darker.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Nigerians putting a stop to that though, because they've passed a law that where you can only use their women now for television and for print ads, for modeling. They're putting a
Who
stop
did
to
that?
in Nigeria.
Oh, yeah. And
Yeah,
they
they
better look like Nigerians too.
yeah, the law just passed last month or so.
And remember, they got on one woman about wearing weave during a beauty pageant. Now, here's the other thing too. We used to call them vampires, is because they used to have to cover up all the way up to walk out in the sun because they destroyed their melanin.
Oh wow.
Rasan, I've been to Chile, not for that long, but I've been there. It was cold. I was there during the Super Bowl.
This
I
year?
think no. I think this the last time the Steelers were in the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the last Super Bowl the Steelers won, that's when I was in Chile.
Oh.
I don't even know if it was the Steelers, but it was during the Super Bowl. I remember I was freezing.
If
But
it was real cold, it probably
Well,
was that Pittsburgh Indianapolis game.
The summertime for us is the wintertime for them. And Christmas, when I was in Buenos Aires, Christmas is in the middle of the summer.
yeah. No, but we was in the mountains though. We was in the mountains.
Right.
That's what it was. It was mountain terrain. But yep, it's chilly. But anyway, so and this was my problem with Africa, and this is why I had picked Brazil and Colombia because I mean, if you really think about it, if you look at the women from Palenque that braid my hair, they're all natural women. They're proud of their melanin, right? And so in Salvador Bahia, they're proud of their melanin as well, right? And so, hey, what's up, Kendrick? And so um, thanks, man. And so basically, this is the thing. When I started looking at Africa and I started looking at a lot of these countries, and this is why I shout out Eswatini, right? They used to be called Swaziland, all right, but when I start understanding that they still, so there's a lot of tribes in Eswatini that still maintain that proud heritage with the women looking like African women from that land instead of trying to look like the Europeans. Then I'm cool with that. In South Africa and in Ghana, I don't ever want to go to Ghana. All right, because I think that they are totally sold out.
Did you see that man? I'm gonna keep it PG. That Jezebel of a female that made that song. She was from Ghana. What was it about? I need 20-inch D all the time.
Oh, yeah, Ghana.
Princess Vitara, whatever. That's the most disgusting thing. I was like, so the African women on that, huh?
Yeah. The Ghana and a lot of countries are having problem with Ghana because Ghana is a tool of the United States.
Mm.
Um,
I was like, since
I know
when
how to
Cardi
I know
B
how to
came
do
to us,
Ethiopian dance.
man. No, I'm just like, damn, how they got Cardi B over there in West Africa?
Right.
I mean, it was nasty, bro. It was like even before a lot of the more raunchy songs have been out, you know what I'm saying? That song came out. So I think they're really trying to push that nasty agenda.
Remember, Obama was trying to push the LGBT
Oh
in
man,
all over Africa.
they pushed him out. They said
he
no, we
tried to
want free
persecute
trade.
him.
Yeah, he was trying to push it in Kenya.
Uh-huh.
Even in Tanzania, they was trying to push it. As soon as the president of Tanzania passed away and that woman came in there, they allowed it in.
And so Tanzania, um, I would like to go there, all right, because they're trying to hold it down in Tanzania. And Uganda. Uganda's trying to hold it down as well. So Tanzania and Uganda, and Zimbabwe. I have much respect.
Yeah,
Robert
Mugabe had a reign on that.
Yes. Robert Mugabe gave. I was like, I respect Zimbabwe.
Yeah, we got a
So,
female president now, and Tanzania got a female president.
yeah, and that's part of the problem. The reason why they want these female presidents in Africa is it gives the powers that be in the West leverage over that country.
They want to
And
destabilize the region.
huh?
They want to destabilize the region.
Yeah, and females, they won't vote the interests of the people. They won't vote for protection. They'll vote for what looks like them because of vanity. And vanity is females, the black females are allowing vanity and their wishes to have somebody that looks like them so they can feel good that they could do what a man does. All right. That thing is destroying all these nations. And they're not saying that they're the cause of these nations being destroyed. All right. But they'll see it, but it'll be too late.
That public bus driver in Cleveland, he proved to them that y'all ain't equal.
Oh yeah. Somebody going to jail now. Somebody
You talking about
Hadouken.
when he punched the woman in the face?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Uppercut.
they gonna
Oh,
put
you
him.
looking?
Hadouken.
Are they gonna lock him up?
Huh?
Are they locking him up?
No, they just took his money,
They
Yeah,
took
but
his
that's
which
money.
is
what
But
worse.
remember, she spit on him while he was driving.
And then swung on him.
And then swung on him. No, but everybody's like, well, he shouldn't have honored. And but see, this is the thing. And so brothers is leaving. And this is why I say this is we need to leave. There is no space for us. There is no and I said that if you find a good woman in the United States, you need to take her with you wherever you decide to go live.
And thing of it is once we leave, then the whole black community is just
It's
gonna
done.
fall. It's gonna fall because women won't have anybody to protect them, even from themselves. Because you're like the woman that decides she gonna spit at the bus driver. She didn't consider that he was gonna beat the snot out of her until it was done. And that's the
Right.
thing. A lot of the women think that you know they making all of these superhero movies with the women beating the men, and they forgetting that that's fantasy.
Right. But that's why Hollywood is doing that because Hollywood and so what's going on is people are playing it's the same trick in the garden, right? It's the same trick. And the trick, and it ain't even a trick. It isn't even a trick. They are appealing to her vanity and they're not deceiving her. She wasn't deceived. That's why the Most High punished Eve so severely and punishing her coochie because she wasn't really deceived. She wanted to do what she wanted to do, right? The deception wasn't really deception. Well, he deceived me, right? No, he appealed to your vanity, and you did what you wanted to do because you would do anything to be worshipped like that. And
Yep.
there it is. The key is these women want worship. They want to be worshipped. They
And it's
want
so amazing. As old as the Bible is, the stories ring true till this day. If you really
Well.
and look, you know what I mean? That because
right.
think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's claiming that he made her do it, he tricked her. And no, you did it because you wanted to do it. And then Adam turned around and turned out to be a simp, and God punished him for simping.
That's
Mm-hmm.
real. That's real. You gotta shut that stuff down. When them broads get to acting, you know what I'm saying, all manly and acting like some kind of hooligan or gorilla or whatever they think they, you can say, now hold on now. Hold on, wait, slow your roll. So
The
you know what I'm saying?
only lie that
Slow,
I see in that whole story is that
man.
Adam and Eve were the first ones on the planet. I don't believe that because how did how did the planet start to populate itself? Was it brothers and sisters?
Well,
Um,
I said this that Adam and Eve wasn't the first ones on the planet. Remember, because they had to replenish. Replenish. That means it was already plenished at one point. That's why you would have to replenish.
but they
You
were
see what I mean?
before the flood, though, weren't they?
No, no, no. This is before the flood.
Right, right.
All right. The flood didn't take everybody out either. All right. But the flood did happen, but not the way we imagine it if you read. All right. But when they had to replenish, all right, there was two sets of human beings, and Adam and Eve was part of those sets. Because remember, Cain went off and he was able to marry somebody.
Right.
Eve, the Eden was a special place for Adam and Eve, right? And
Right.
so and remember, the Watchers who Eve slept with, right? They're humanoids. All right.
Semyaza.
She
Azazel.
didn't sleep with Zemyaza. She slept with Azazel.
Kokabel.
So the Watchers were
That's an
actually.
I'm,
Okay.
I'm messing with Nabi because I know he know their names like I know. I'm just messing with him.
But
They were
hold
like
on. Let me say this. So when you read, hey, what's up, Daniel? All right. So when you read the thing, right, you will understand that. All right.
What's up, Navi?
You will understand that when he said tree, he was talking about those watchers, is because that's the family tree. All right. And he said, do not teach or eat of the fruit. The fruit is knowledge. So when you and the fruit is the knowledge. So knowledge is the fruit on the tree, and the tree are the people that's presenting that knowledge, right? And to eat the knowledge is to learn. This is why when he went down and he said to the man, he said, who taught you that thou were naked? Did you eat of the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden? And he said, and because he didn't directly learn the knowledge from the tree itself directly, he said, the woman you gave to me taught me. So I learned the fruit or the knowledge that I got from the woman. And then he said, woman, what is this that thou have done? Right? And she said, the serpent deceived me. Right? And so she got it directly from the tree and then gave that knowledge from that she got from the tree to her husband. All right. And then he knew he was naked because the knowledge was understanding good and evil. So he knew he was naked and he had shame for the first time. And so the Most High was like, who taught you this shame? But he said, who told you or who taught you, depending on the translation. That means that the knowledge, the person, the tree was a who. It wasn't a what. You see what I mean? And they weren't the first people because Cain left out and married somebody that wasn't them, that wasn't in the family. And if Cain didn't marry if he couldn't go out, he wouldn't have needed a mark. If he was, he needed the mark because it would have been unsafe for him because of who he was, because he wasn't Adam's seed, which is why he was able to kill Abel.
So in other words, after Eve ate from the proverbial tree, she went and threw Adam some, and after he got a little bit, he was like, oh, he felt naked because he first time he realized, what has thou done to me? You know?
No, he felt naked only when the Most High came. So
Right,
at no point did he feel ashamed. Think about it. So he was still walking around naked. He only hid himself when the Most High came to him, because he felt comfortable around the woman. He didn't, but when the Most High came, he didn't feel comfortable in his situation around the Most High, because the Most High is the Most High. And so the Most High is this is peculiar. Why would he feel like he's naked and hiding himself? And he's like, oh, he done learned from the watchers, because there's a certain way you need to be in the presence of the Most High. Yeah. And he understood that for the first time, he wasn't that. You know, and the watchers taught him that the watchers taught the woman, and the woman taught the man. So that's why he said, and people are like, oh, he blaming the woman. No, he's saying what happened, because he don't know how to blame it.
The watchers evil?
You can say the watchers were disobedient and the woman was disobedient, and it brought evil into the world.
They're the fallen angels, you pretty much say.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you well, to get a clue about what happened in somewhat happened in the garden, you have to go back and read what is it? That too. It's Exodus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, where the Most High tells us don't learn from the Canaanites and arrest them because we'll learn their ways, whatever. And the Most High told us, look, I'll give you two choices. You choose life or choose death. Therefore, choose life and you'll live, or choose death and you'll be cursed. The same decision with the Most High gave Adam and Eve back in the Garden of Eden. It's like it's telling you, like, it's giving a scenario of the story, and when you read those books.
And that's why the Most High was trying to get rid of all them people. When he picked Israel because he needed people that could remain pure from learning those ways, right? And remember, Israel was the seed of Abraham. And so why was Abraham significant? What made Abraham special? What made Abraham special because was that on his own, without needing to be taught, he understood something was wrong with his father's practices. And he understood it to the point where he said, no, this is wrong. There's something better than this. And then I'm going to leave. And then that's when the Most High knew he could speak to Abraham. Remember, because he was a practicing thing. Understand this too. The sacrifice of Isaac, it was the Most High's way of showing Abraham that he wasn't all the way delivered. All right, and let me tell you what I mean. And this is why he had the sacrifice provision, because he had to wean us off of that practice of sacrifice, sacrificing of human beings and stuff, because that was being done to the other watchers and to the other mighty ones, right? And so for the Most High was like, I don't require that, and to prove that that's where Abraham was, and the Most High wanted to prove that Abraham was still in, he was still his father's son. He said, sacrifice your firstborn son. Okay. And see, and so he decided he was going to do it, right? And hold on for a second. And so what happened is then the Most High had to send an angel because he was so serious about doing it that he brought an angel to stop his hand, and then he put a ram in the bush so that his son would just not really diss his father like that. He had a way out, right? Now, he was about to kill his son, and the Most High was showing him, look, for me, you would have done this, but I don't require a sacrifice. And this is why you see in the commandments, which I showed you before, that the Most High considers it an abomination for you to sacrifice your sons, which is why he wouldn't sacrifice his son if he had one. All right. And we'll get into that at another thing. So basically, so he says it's an abomination to sacrifice your child. It is that the father cannot die for the son cannot die for the father. It says that.
That's
right?
why you don't be giving up no kidneys and liver, no kids.
The part where Yahshua dies is not necessarily true.
No.
Okay.
None of the New Testament was written by the Flavians. The New Testament is something when you go to seminary, you start learning these things. This is why, all right, a couple things happen in seminary. Okay. People start to get a clearer understanding of the Most High, who already was in the Most High, and a bunch of Caucasian people leave religion alone altogether. All right, because then you find out how the Bible is actually put together. You find out who wrote what. All right, which is what is actually a copy of old manuscripts, cuneiforms, and stuff like that. And what is so brand new that it was written in Greek. That should have told you something right there. Okay. And so the New Testament in its entirety was written by the Romans for the purpose of drawing the Afro people away from following the commandments, because they could not exert power over us. They could not exert power over us like that, so long as we were following the commandments. And they understood that's where we got our morality from. And so And they couldn't, and the Romans couldn't contend with that. So the Mashiachs that was living in a time, they were warriors. A Mashiach is a warrior, and that's a title for a warrior. It wasn't a special person that the Most High was going to put a seed. No, it was the warriors that were raised up. All right, and the Romans couldn't stop them, and so they had to pervert the spiritual system under which we guided ourselves. And so he couldn't do it in the first, they couldn't do it in the first generation. So they had to put a siege and lose money. And battling the Mashiachs is part of the reason for the downfall of Rome as well, right? But with that said, there was two Mashiachs. There was the one in Jerusalem, and there was the one in, there was one in Jerusalem, and then there was the one in Egypt. So so they dealt with the one in Jerusalem with a siege, and they said, how are we going to deal with the Mashiach in Egypt? And they said, well, we got to come up with another plan. And so they came up with SELLOUTS. And so with the SELLOUTS, they came up with a way that they said, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we can, they said, we're going to make sure that we can not corrupt this generation, but the generation after it will get. You see what I mean? And so, like, that's how they're doing now. Remember, in 1950, 80% of household our household had two parents, right? And all right, after the 1950s, after the 1950s, right? It went down in 1960 to 1970. That started to go up. By the time 1980 hit, you see what I'm saying? 10 years later, it was reversed. More children started growing up in the single woman household, and it worked exponentially. So they got the first generation of single women that only choose thugs as mates, right? And then they had a bunch of children. They taught that to their girls, right? And then after they taught that to their girls taught that to their girls. But when they was having all their children, they was having 6, 7, 8, 9 by a bunch of different dudes, teaching their daughters you could use the system. So now you see this Moynihan report where the girls are sitting there and having this thing, right? And you see the Moynihan report, and you see these girls like, I don't need no father. I get food stamps. You see what I mean? And so how did it get to there in 1980? Well, they made that plan before 1960.
That's right.
When when in 1980, I think it was 83, I wound up getting married, and my wife got pregnant and had an abortion. I didn't get no choice in the matter. So
exactly.
Afterward, I divorced her, and that was my first wife. I divorced her, and I had already gotten my daughter in a custody battle. I took my daughter's mother to court and got custody of it. You know.
Hey Daniel, what's up? Let me let Daniel speak for it, because he's been sitting up here and just like. So what's up, Daniel Porter? What's going on, man?
Oh, I don't understand y'all conversation about the Bible. I just want to just listen. I put my little 2 cents in whenever y'all go on the topic or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was saying that. Huh?
You got a lot of 2 senses. So go ahead.
No, I got nothing right now. Just keep on talking. I'll try to chime in. It's a very interesting conversation y'all having.
But So and remember, so this is what happened then. They knew they couldn't get the first generation, so they had to fight us, and then we spread out, right?
Right.
And but the ones that stayed got corrupted. Okay, so the ones that stayed got corrupted, and then the ones that spread out maintained, right? And this is why a lot of um, the Khazar Jews are kind of having a problem trying to explain away all these sects that's in other parts of Africa that's maintaining the true Old Testament, as we say, or the Torah.
Right.
You
Yeah,
see it?
that's a serious problem for them, especially since they didn't adapt Judaism until the end of the sixth, beginning of the seventh century. Before
Right.
then, they were gypsies. They were basically like the Armenian people and the Cossacks out there. They were just doing whatever, fortune telling, worshiping like 200 gods. They were just buck wild.
Uh-huh. Now, hold on. Let me show you something. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. Okay. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. This is what the black woman wants, and this is why we can't. Nothing can save the black community right now. The only thing that could save it is us taking our seeds to other places. All right, and the reason being,
Regrowing the garden.
huh?
I said to regrow the garden again, pretty much.
And I'm gonna show it to you, right? I'm gonna show it to you. Um, hold on, y'all pay attention to this. Tell me what y'all see.
An Egyptian priestess.
This is why I stopped preaching at the church. I understood that I can't fix this.
It made
This is why I stopped playing keyboards at the church and playing the organ and stuff. This is what made me stop music because I was like, why am I bringing people into this mess, right? And when I started seeing a lot of this, at first I said I'll just make me a little church and stuff. So I had one, all right, but I was a good musician and stuff, so I would get people, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
She looked like she don't want to be there. Look at the little
she's
dark security
apostle.
guard. Look at that. She looked embarrassed.
putting that woman in the position of a man.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's what gets me too. That's why I want to have way to go. No,
Now here's the other thing.
man to be BAW running them churches, man. That's one. Nope, I'm gonna pass.
All right. Here's the other thing. So they have elevated her. All right. Hold it. One was apostle. What was the other? Worship. All right. This is their definition of worship. All right. And this is why I stopped. I was like, no matter, and this is the most High had to deal with me on this. And he didn't have to deal with me long either, because I got it right away. Because my whole desire was to do the truth and stuff. And I never preached from the New Testament. As a matter of fact, when it came to altar call, I never did an altar call. I even preached during Easters and stuff like that, how it was fake and junk like that, and stuff. Um, and I stayed in the commandments and I stayed in the Old Testament the whole time I used to preach. And I couldn't figure out why I would do that. But I was like, I thought it was because, well, people just, it's the part of the Bible people don't know about. So I'm going to teach this part and speak on this part and stuff. And people would get hyped and stuff like, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
But that isn't why I stood there. My spirit stayed there because that's where the truth was. I knew the New Testament was a lie without even knowing that the New Testament was a lie at the time. Because I didn't have enough seminary cleared a whole lot of stuff up, and then further studying and the historical stuff, looking at history and like I always had a question, why was the New Testament in Greek? Right? But we wouldn't write nothing in Greek.
Oh.
All
We
right.
don't have to slay the lamb anymore.
All right. Now pay
We don't
attention.
have to
So she got servants that wait on her. And this was another thing that killed me, right? So in these churches, they would have something called an armor bearer. And I was like, an armor bearer? Yeah, he's bearing the armor. So it's the dude that actually carries the Bible for the preacher.
Oh, we don't have to
So the preacher don't have to carry anything. He's carrying the Bible. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not a sword.
the blood on the door.
All right. And even the
Someone has
even the
taken
king carried his own
the
sword.
place of the
It's just the
lamb.
armor bearer carries the rest of the weapons he might use.
Jesus, I am. Oh, we don't have
Are they playing Ring Around the Rosie? What the hell?
All right.
Kind of funny. You got long hair like
to
Jesus, don't you?
the blood on the door.
Okay. And so this is
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
The place of the lamb.
all right.
Jesus the
And it's just
The
worse.
provide. Yes. Hey, the lamb.
Something ain't right with that.
Wait, no.
Her spirit off.
Of
Ain't right.
course it ain't right. Right? But it is what it is.
Yeah, that was hard to watch, Bobby.
You know, and that's the thing. It's everybody worships her and she's there to be worshipped.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of
Like a
dudes
witch.
that was
There
okay.
you go.
Spirit of a witch.
That
You
was
see that?
that put her in that position, and you got a lot of dudes that's going to follow her, and them dudes will hurt you to talk about her because they have convinced themselves in this mess.
Yeah.
All right. And so basically this is why I am still saying that there are some good black women in the United States, but not enough like the Muhammad Ali thing. Yeah, there's some poisonous snakes but there's so many poisonous snakes that you're liable to get bitten by a poisonous snake before you reach in and find a good one.
Yeah.
Unless you was able to separate the good snake from the pit of poisonous snakes, you're going to get bit by a poisonous snake looking for the good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you need to get involved with somebody that has as a part of their culture a respect for men, and that does not exist from women inside the United States. Maybe a specific one, but not from women in general. All right. And we're talking about probability. So what's the probability that you're going to get bit? It's too high. And the cost is too great to take such a risk where you're guessing.
Yeah.
Disrespecting black men and giving them hell is a culture now. For past 40, 50 years now. It's a culture.
Yes.
It's ingrained in it. You can't fix it. It has to burn. Let it burn on out.
Exactly.
Can't save it.
Exactly.
You know what kind of bothers me is I see a lot of men going back and forth with these women. It's like, but there's one rule that I adopted years ago, man. I never argue with a woman. I won't do it. Because if you argue with a woman, then she wins, because see, women are emotional. They are better at arguing than men are. We're not good at it. And so the best thing you can do is not have that conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
And ignoring that woman is the most painful thing to her that can ever happen.
Well, you gotta be really smart if you are going to. What is that? Now, was it Proverbs? I think 10 that was saying that don't answer a fool, and says if you do answer a fool, make sure that they feel dumb. Basically, let them know how stupid their argument is if you're
Yep.
gonna answer them.
Yeah. Well, we could get it. We could look it up real quick. Shoot. But and here's the thing though. And it says also walk not in the counsel of the ungodly, right? So the minute that the woman thinks that she could argue with you, she's already ungodly. Nor
Right.
sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
And the moment that you think that you can argue back to her, you've already lost.
Right. Well, yeah. But here's the thing, and that's why you don't argue with them. See, men are better at debate, right? But in an argument, there is no argument. It's my word is it, right? Proverbs 10 and what?
You know what? It might be. I don't know why 26 is coming to mind. I'm looking right now. I'm gonna find it, but it really tells you how to deal with fools. What the hell is my
Oh,
deal?
that's the thing. Let's
I think it's 26. It might be Proverbs 26. Let me see.
Says something like "Don't answer a fool according to his
There you-
folly" or something like that. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
yeah. Yeah. Is Proverbs
Yeah.
10 and
26.
21. The lips of the righteous shepherds, but the fool dies for lack of heart. Hold on, let's see. Let's put don't answer.
Let's see. If you, where is it? I'm on 26. But there's no fool, a crazy person.
They got a lot of stuff about fools up in here.
I'm telling you, I'm like, dang, which one is it? Cause like, yeah, it's a bunch of them.
Don't answer. Don't answer a fool. Let's see if this is it.
Twenty-two.
Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also become like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he becomes wise in his own eyes.
There you go.
26 and 4 and 26 and 5. Proverbs 26 and 4 and Proverbs 26 and 5.
Yeah, that's like for example, and I don't follow these rappers and a lot of stuff. It's like 50 Cent's son arguing with that guy. It's like when you heard him arguing, you could tell he was in this feminine energy talking about he can't live on $6,800 a month. He's crazy. You
I
know,
can live on less than that.
of course.
What do you say?
He feels he's entitled to something, whereas he took his mother's side during the argument. Now he's got to deal with what his mother brings to him, because if he had taken his father's side, his father may not have given him money, but he would have given him the direct pathway to success. You see, and the same thing. Look, Herschel Walker is an idiot, but his son putting his father out there like that, whether this is not about whether Herschel was right or whether he was wrong. You do not dishonor your father.
That's what girls do. He think he a girl. He already admitted to what he like. I mean, he's already. I mean, you can look at the brother and tell he ain't my brother. He got more sugar in him than 5 Dunkin' Donuts put together.
It looked like he didn't even Cairo said all his life, you know. And thing about it is everybody's talking about how Herschel Walker is a hypocrite and an idiot. No, his son has dishonored him.
Uh-huh.
His son dishonored him, and
You
that
knew it was a matter of time.
yeah,
Right,
I'm not
but who
forgiving
raised his son? His wife. I mean, well, the son's mom did.
Yes, but once the son turned 18, he was old enough to make a choice.
Right, but he was programmed to be against his father by the mom. It's calculated.
Oh, I know. I'm not taking it away from her, but
No. What I'm saying is, it's him. It's on him, but it's calculated. He should have fought the programming. But I mean,
exactly.
you're 18. You should know. You should know and stuff. But like you said, he feeling like more like his mom than a man.
Right. Once you turn
His mom
18,
was a cheerleader. He's a cheerleader.
yeah, once you turn 18, you can make your own choices. And he could have sat down with his father and said, "Look, we need to discuss this." And and if not, he could have talked about it after the election.
But see, but you know what though? You
But
could
they
look at
trying to
him.
destroy his
If,
father.
now, if you really go back and look at him, you see the whole time he was using his dad's political fame for clout, sitting up there smiling. He was trying to be everywhere his daddy was. Now, you never wanted to play football. You're not manly like your dad, so you didn't want to take any of Herschel Walker's traits. But now you want to be on Fox News and CNN and everywhere he go. He had a conference with Lamont Hill, that sucker, the other day, Don Lemon's best friend. Like, I don't understand, you know what I'm saying, why these guys constantly use Afro men and these women are just pretty much, using them as like a torpedo against the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Problem
I
with the
understand.
torpedo,
I
you never
understand
know
why
when it's
they're
going to go
doing it.
off.
I understand why they're doing it, but it's just these effeminate mother sons that
Mm-hmm.
are buying into it. I mean, like, imagine 50 Cent, as successful as he's become, you're gonna sit up there and criticize him because he only gave you $6,800 a month. That's
6,800
crazy.
again, and doing no work, don't have to do nothing to get that,
Yeah.
Nothing.
and you don't have to pay.
Okay.
He probably don't have to pay rent or nothing.
I'll turn down. On 73. I turned down. I thought you was. I put on 70.
Excuse me?
On 70, ma'am.
No, he's talking to. But that what I'm saying is,
You all
I
right?
mean, he probably don't have to pay rent or anything. That's 6,800 free money.
Well, 50 Cent gave the mother of his child $1 million to buy a home. If she tricked that money off, that's on her.
Exactly.
He gave her, besides the child support, he gave her $1 million. Now, if you can't find a decent home in a decent neighborhood with $1 million,
$1 million.
and this was years ago. It's not $1 million in today's money, because
That's right.
I mean, right now, a normal house is worth $500,000, but back then, a normal house was $100,000,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I
So
guarantee you.
huh?
No, I'm just saying, I guarantee you, brother, at least 65% of that million is in China and India behind all that fake hair being worshipped to Buddha and Hare Krishna and Vishnu and all that nonsense because they spend on the hair.
Shiva.
Look, if
Oh
you've
yeah,
ever dated,
yeah.
if you've ever
That's the
dated,
most expensive hair they can get.
man, brother,
And it's
if
the
you,
same old hair. It's the same old hair, but they just brand it
yo,
differently, put it in a package, and say it's the rare
the,
hair,
the,
and they'll
the,
get it.
the
Uh,
only The only difference between a bougie BAW that's got money and a good job or some kind of trust fund or something, or one who live in the ghetto on welfare, the only difference is where they buy their hair from, and that's about it.
because it's the same hair.
How they speak, you know what I'm saying? Like when I seen this girl I was dating, now she made a lot of money. She worked for an oil company. So, I saw her ordering $1,000 hair from China. I'm
Mm.
sitting there scratching my head like I just had to put like $200 worth of food in this refrigerator last week. What the HE double toothpicks are you doing?
Yep.
What am I
Hey,
buying food over here for?
hey,
And plus, it's
hey,
killing their hair
Sorry.
anyway.
My Kefru, you're coming to Colombia. Um, I'm gonna be here until the 20. What part of Colombia are you coming to? What part of Colombia are you coming to? There's the thing. Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also become like him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he become wise in his own eyes.
Mm.
What part of Colombia you coming to? Is it going to be Cartagena, Medellin? Because they're starkly different. Okay. Let's see. Um, so let me see what part he's coming to. All right. Peru. Oh, Cartagena. I'll be in Cartagena. I'll be in Cartagena.
How far is Bogota from Cartagena?
Huh?
How far is Bogota from Cartagena?
It's an hour and a half plane flight.
Oh, okay.
All right. And so like I'm in Barranquilla right now, right? I'm in Barranquilla. And so from I come
Don't
to
start. You'll be
Barranquilla,
out of here.
huh? I come to Barranquilla because it's in the middle of Cartagena and Santa Marca. Santa Marcos or San Marcos.
Mm.
And so I usually come into Cartagena airport and I stay in Cartagena first. And that's where my friends are. All right. I got a few here in Barranquilla, but in Cartagena,
And
that's my stomping grounds, right? And so basically, um, Bogota is a plane flight from anywhere. So that's the
Mm.
main hub.
Okay.
Hey, hold on. Hit me up on Facebook.
you finish your juice.
This is my Facebook. So hit me up on Facebook. All right. And so basically, um, so yeah, just reach out to me on Facebook and I'll be here. Hey, what's up, Rolando G? Um, I'll be in Cartagena on the 17th. But next week, I could take the bus to Cartagena. So just hit me up and send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Hit me up on Facebook Messenger. There's my Facebook Messenger link. Okay, and so basically, yeah. And so there's a lot of this mess going on. But like I said, they seek worship And because they have been so much about when you go for 3 months at a place, do you leave and come back to a country 3 months later or what? All right, it depends on what I'm doing. All right, so Brazil is my main stomping grounds. So I build a stronger relationship with the community in Brazil, right? Now, Brazil, I can stay there 6 months out of the year with my visa. And so what I do is I'll stay 3 or 4 months and then I'll come to Colombia. Colombia was to break a tie over before I could go back to Brazil, but then I made friends here. And so when I'm in Brazil, I'm in Colombia. Now I've been to other places. Now the reason why I do it this way because I wanted to do something for Afro people in places where they are abundant, right? And Brazil is my main place because they were the most welcoming as a community. As like when I went to Brazil, they was like, "Hey, brother, it's a brother," right? And so, but Colombia, I made some friends, and so I do stuff here too, and I do more in Brazil because of the NGO there.
Have
Okay.
you ever thought about going to visit Argentina?
Yeah, but that would be a visit. It wouldn't be like I'm doing in Colombia where I'm actually doing stuff in the community or doing stuff in Brazil like I'm actually doing stuff in the community. The other place that I would go to do stuff, actually do stuff in the community is the Philippines. All
You
right.
know they got favelas in Argentina too.
Uh-huh. Hey, you don't need a Facebook link. Just go to Facebook, put in the name in Messenger, and that's it. Open up your Facebook Messenger and drop that name in in the Messenger.
Yeah, they got favelas in Buenos Aires too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know, but see, I'm only one person with
Right,
a limited amount of money.
right.
You see what I'm
I mean,
saying?
I was just suggesting in case you were looking for another place to
Well,
to
I'm kind of with between Colombia and Brazil. And the
right.
other place, it would be the Philippines. I'm kind of stretched thin on what I make,
Okay,
if you know what I mean. You know, when they took my channel down, they really hurt how I can help communities. But I stick with these two because they're feasible, and mainly Brazil. I do more bang for the buck.
yeah, Brazil is pretty cheap. I think Argentina can get expensive
No,
at
not even cheap. What I mean by that is the things that I do in Brazil for the communities go a longer way than here in Colombia. Like in Brazil, so I'm taking like the bamboo swords there for the NGO, the music studio and stuff like that. Whereas in Colombia, I'm just on soccer balls and sometimes perfume and cologne, and like I'll go to the store for the people at the hotel like when I go to the grocery store to get me something, I'll ask them if they want something. That's kind of what, and this is small like family owned hotel, family owned restaurants and stuff like that, right? And
right.
so basically, so that's what I mean by that. I have a way bigger impact on the community in Brazil than I do in Colombia.
Right, right.
You know,
Yeah.
and so and then I have deeper relationships in Brazil than I do in Colombia as well, but I have some relationships here in Colombia that are developing, and so I go between these places because of that, and I got a little more scant of a relationship in the Philippines, but that's only because of brother Stephen, right?
Right.
And his girlfriend, and we need to get some computers down there for the school down there. And since they're opening up, that'll be easy to do. But that's like a thing that I'll do like once or twice, and that's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was amazing, man. When Tyler was down there, when you guys were making the videos in Brazil, and that's actually at it was the video the YouTube guys were doing that caused where the BAW figured they were going to come down and investigate everything that black men were doing down there, and then they realized they couldn't. Because I saw that one video where
Mhm.
the black woman was questioning, well, I can get a Brazilian man, and she couldn't.
And then she thought she could get an American man, but Charles was telling, she's like, why can't I get an American man? All y'all, we from the United States, but you didn't come down here for an American man. You came down there, tried to get you a Brazilian man because, you was going to prove something to the brothers. But when they didn't want you, you said, okay, all these brothers on the beach talking to all these Brazilian. Why y'all talking to all these Brazilian women? I'm an American woman, but we came down here to get away from you.
Yeah, and also she
He was
came
trying to
down to
explain it.
badmouth. She came down to badmouth us.
Uh-huh. And Charles was really trying to be polite.
I remember that.
I wouldn't have wasted the oxygen or the spit on that dumb heifer.
But anyway.
Shit.
Yeah, he was just because he didn't appear to me to be a resentful type man. He just went off to do his own thing,
Uh-huh. Well,
And they
Charles
came.
had a bunch of problems with the group that he was with. And we used to talk about it because he was like, we had them conversations like, you just can't take these ninjas anywhere, because there was some deep problems and stuff. And like right after he died, a couple more dudes died in motorcycle accidents, quote unquote, right? And there was a lot of people messing and stuff, messing with the wrong people, brothers here, trying to swindle other brothers, which got me. That's what started my whole thing with Brazil, and that stuff just went south quickly,
Why did how did Charles pass away? Do you know?
He had a stroke.
Oh, okay.
It sure is funny. All these brothers, Kevin Samuels allegedly had a stroke. He had a stroke. I think that's how David Carroll died. It sure is funny. All these brothers with a similar message in their early 50s that have really not too many health problems are just dying around the same time of a stroke.
Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder if somebody is poisoning these guys,
Wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised and stuff. I keep wondering, myself, I'm still around, because I'm looking at, but I think they deal with me by just
They're shadow banning you. That's how they're attacking you.
I think they don't think that your channel is big. Charles and Kevin Samuels have some pretty big channels.
But Nabi had 200,000 subscribers about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, they took that one down.
Nabi had a bunch of subscribers.
2 million views in one of the videos.
My channel was way bigger than Charles Tyler's.
Yeah, he had a bunch of, and all of a sudden they just disappeared.
Yeah, my channel was as big as Tommy Sotomayor. My videos was getting 1 million views.
Yeah. Before around the time that you and I met, when you dropped by my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was around that time.
Yeah. They was just destroying my channel then. I was the only one that never got their channel back.
Yeah.
So that what happened with me is when they took my channel down, like everybody got their channel back. I didn't get mine back. So all my data that I didn't have saved was lost. Like other people, when their channels were taken down illegally, they got their channel back, but I didn't get mine back.
Well, the difference
was way better.
But you got to think about it. There's a difference between you, Nabi, and all the other brothers that have I can't even say a similar message. They warn brothers to from the hyena clan, but they don't go on the in-depth, like you do. And I'm just gonna keep it real. You coming directly from the scriptures, you even putting scriptures up on the screen. I think that's what has, what I'm saying, the alphabet community and the nappy head community and all the rest of them going at you so viciously. Like, we got to shut this guy down. He going too hard with the fire. He bringing it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it seemed like, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was ready to die in 2013 when I found out I had cancer, and I'm still here. As a matter of fact, I have never, except for this food that I eat here and stuff. But my thing was, the other thing is though, I wasn't really. My thing was, I wasn't trying to become powerful. I wasn't trying to be rich, right? It's just the truth. And warning comes before destruction. I see the United States being destroyed, and I think the people that's shadow banning me and this, that, and the other, they know what time it is. But when you have to be careful about how you shut down the Most High's messengers. Like, I guess I'm not ready to go until the Most High is ready for me to go. I thought I'd be dead already, but I'm not. So, but I will say this: the people that want to find me are finding me. But my channel, I think they're really happy that my channel will never be that big anymore. Right? Yeah. And it because right now we're at a point that only the good people want to find me. And you got a lot of people that's putting out mess and stuff like that, but they know that I didn't come for everybody. I only came for the people that want to be righteous.
Right.
Period.
I saw. Well, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I saw some of your rivals putting out content worse than the BAWs. When that Charles brother, when he died, to Tyler, talking about good riddance and he deserved it, and you speak bad on the black woman, that's what you get. And I was like, I know y'all know who I'm talking about. I know you know who I'm talking about. I couldn't believe that he even has any followers. I'm like, that dude is a straight up simp, super simp. He was, glad that Kevin Samuels died. He was glad when Charles Tyler died. I mean, his viewpoints is like half a woman. He's worse than Steve Harvey. Yeah, he used to call himself Raw. Now it's blank male advice. You know who I'm talking about. He out of there, man. And look at his channel. His channel just got like over 300,000 subscribers. I can't believe I see dudes on channels like this and that. Yeah. How could you listen to him and listen to Nabi and people like Nabi? Come on.
Because they don't listen to me. Those dudes the people that listen to Omar and all of them, they will never listen to me.
Yeah, that dude, when he came out, he was straight fake Tommy Sotomayor. Like, his channel even tried the way he put the name in there. So I know y'all know who I'm talking about. That dude, man, somebody in the black manosphere roasted him. I'm gonna say Tito, brother Tito roasted him so hard he changed his whole channel, started wearing fitted caps, took off them nasty gloves, stopped talking about black men's feet. Because I was like, what kind of dude be looking at other dudes' feet? He had 2 videos where he was talking about what black men's feet look like, and he'd be looking at their feet. I'm like, that dude's a weirdo, yo.
Yeah.
He looking at no dude's crusty feet. Bad enough, I had to see Shaka Zulu feet when he was explaining why he don't need no damn sandals.
Yeah. So
he don't blame black men when his mother died.
Oh Lord.
I heard that, yeah. He was going in on brothers. I heard that, yeah. When his mother died, he's going in on brothers.
No, he didn't.
Oh, he wasn't?
No, I'm saying, I say it ain't so, man. Say it ain't so.
No, it's so.
Yeah, I heard it was. I think they're talking about, yeah. I won't, yeah.
I believe it. Yeah,
I know you're talking about, yeah. I know you're talking about.
Oh, you know? Yeah,
yeah, start with an R. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Look like a bright skinned version of Flavor Flav. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
But
Right, yeah.
anyway, uh, I still don't know who you're talking about,
Oh, you
but
know, you.
R-
who you talking
ring.
There
about,
you
You
man?
can
go. There
ring
you go.
my
Uh
bell. Ring
I
my
still don't know.
bell.
Okay, that dingo guy. He's a dingo.
Yeah.
Dingo
Ring.
raw. Dingo raw. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, I don't know. Remember,
Yeah,
I don't follow a lot of people that closely because I'm doing my own thing. I
brother.
mean,
If you saw it, you'd laugh. I promise, Nabi, you would laugh. If you seen it.
Yeah, what's his name? What's his name? The White Hayes said he was going in on brothers. Yeah, his mother died. Yeah, trying to blame brothers for it.
yeah,
I
they
see.
blame us for everything.
Yeah, about what the condition of the
I
community
mean,
in the black community.
we must be like God because we everywhere and no at the same time. I'm like, dang, really? What's up, people?
He wasn't blaming brothers for death. He was blaming. Yeah, he was. Yeah, and blaming brothers in general. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, he was. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what he said. That's what in the comments. Yeah, he wasn't blaming brothers for it, and the condition of the community and putting the blame on us. I said, man, go.
He'll be
See,
all right.
I ain't watched him when he started kept on simping. So he started simping again. We know he was doing all right, but when he started, some stuff I don't agree with. I said this dude was simping. I ain't deal with you,
You talking about dingo or you talking about Phil?
dingo.
That dude, he out of there, man. He out of
I
there.
Yeah,
see. I don't know. Like I said, because if I'm not doing this with y'all and stuff, y'all know I'm busy in the communities.
he was good at first though. We started, but
Yeah, he
yeah,
started like for what he had a couple months or however long. Then it got. Boy, I tell you, when Tito put him in the high heels, it was over.
yeah.
It
Man,
was this dude. Yo, I'm just saying, man. Dude be talking about other dudes' feet and stuff like that. And then he kept talking bad about all kind of different brothers in the black manosphere. Like dudes, you even forgot that they still had a channel, and he was constantly going at them. He wasn't mentioning Synthetic G or none of the rest of them that be talking bad about brothers. No, he was going for the same brothers he was copying. No, that's another one. That's another sucker too cool.
Yeah,
He's below the radar. He didn't fell off.
he felt like he started changing. Yeah.
He started off, if you look at his original content before he had his own show, he was on some Black Power stuff. Then he went fake SYSBM. Now he's black. The black woman is like his queen. I'm like,
Oh,
that
okay.
fool, oh my gosh. Yeah, he out of there. Because
well, here's
there
the
was
thing.
a show. No, there
Here's the
was a
thing.
show. Go ahead.
I was going to say, here's the thing. These two people are looking for a way to get popular, get notoriety, and make money off of these platforms and stuff like that. They're not interested in a particular message, which is why they're all over the place, right?
Thank
They're
you.
not interested in helping the black community, which is why they're all over the place. Um, if you ask them why they're doing what they're doing or what's their ultimate thing, all right, they can't give you an answer because it's about making money. They're after the purse, they're after the bag, they're after popularity. They want to be an influencer. Whereas me, I don't want to be an influencer. My thing, my YouTube thing was to get brothers on one accord so that we be aware of what's going on. But why do I want us on one accord? So that we could do something out in the community. And so I said something needs to be done. And my primary focus was children is because they need to have some kind of future because we're robbing them of everything with the decisions that we're making politically, spiritually, all these things, right? And so I was like, I'm gonna look after the children, but I'm gonna teach my message and so that I could facilitate how we look after the children. And so basically my message has always been the same because I see that helping the Afro men, if we get our stuff together, then the children have a chance. Our seeds have a chance, right? And so because my focal point is the children, right? And us men create the children. And so I speak to us. And because I primarily decide to speak to us because we're the catalyst for everything, my message remains consistent and constant. All right. And even when I say that everything is a symbiotic relationship, so we should know about politics, we should know about geography, we should know about science, we should know about the Bible, how it was put together. We should know all these things because it says in all things we're supposed to know something. You see what I mean? And
Well,
so
well, well.
stays, my content stays in that thing because I'm trying to help us, right? In the hopes that y'all can help me help children, right? And then the children will have a future. And when we get older, we'll have somebody to carry on the torch, be like, and have a thing of respect. We could build up new communities, right? And so these dudes don't have that as an objective
You
because
still
they don't
there?
get to help themselves. So that's the difference. They're going to be all over the place until they find a message that sticks that gets them a lot of views.
Hello?
It's pretty messed up, man. Always, trying to play like I don't know. They coming at the B-Dub with the kid gloves.
Can you hear
They
me
don't want to
okay?
say enough to really piss them off. You know what I'm saying? They want to keep getting that
Hello?
little money and this and that. It's pretty messed up.
They want to say enough to sound like they're saying something. Oh man, he's trying to keep it real now, but not too much where they offend. They want if they can get the sweet spot where the black woman like he telling the truth. Yeah, we need to do this, right? But no, if I'm not going to tell you something that I know you're not going to do, right? And that's the catch. They be like they'll preach that hard message, right? With understanding that nobody's going to follow it because they're not really serious.
Buck dancing.
Yeah. They'll say, oh, y'all need to be twerking and all of that. Oh, because it's making y'all look bad. Yeah, that's a hard truth. That ain't no hard truth. That is the truth. But I mean, the problem is more serious than than them twerking. It's why they're twerking. They want worship. Bottom
You,
line. And
you
we
know.
must be against that.
And sexual gratification.
Hmm.
All
And
right.
it is.
That's why dudes need to quit sleeping with them.
Hmm.
They
They
don't even
want the
touch them.
wrong dude to sleep with them, but
Yeah,
no harm, no foul, because they're going to blame the good men anyway.
right.
R.I.P. to what's his name, Kevin Samuels. Rest in peace. But one of my criticisms when he was alive was the fact that he kept telling brothers basically to go on still get with one, and he wouldn't let nobody really come for them and hear what they needed to hear. He kept trying to defend them to a degree, and it bothered me that like, well, you can't say they're your ally, then they're your enemy. Like, well, even the Bible says, "Be lukewarm, and I'll spew you out my mouth." And he was very lukewarm with them black women.
Right. Well, he started. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you this. He was lukewarm, but before hold it. This is curious. All right. I'm gonna tell you something. He was lukewarm, and I always had this beef with him. But the more he talked to black women, the more he started to understand that they can't be fixed.
Yeah,
That's when he
started getting frustrated. Yeah.
he was
Cussing them
like,
out, cutting them
"Yeah,
off.
they just messed up. They're actually saying this stuff." We was like, "Yeah, we was trying to tell you, bruh. You thought that they could be reconciled." And he started to come to the conclusion that they cannot be reconciled.
Yeah, there's nothing you could do with them.
He was like, he started, and you could see it in his face as the surprise started to come over him. He was like, "There is nothing you could do about this. This is insane."
He even
That's
stayed
why
on
it's
Game of Colonial
been,
when he retired.
yeah, for real.
And that's when he died shortly after realizing that he couldn't fix them, because he kept saying, he's like, "This is unreal," and he was genuinely surprised. He thought there was hope, and then he starts saying that you can't date a black woman in America,
Mm-mm. Nope.
Mhm.
and
Nope.
he started coming into this conclusion as the result of his channel.
I mean, like one of the last videos he had where he told that one BAW, he said, "This is why I swear y'all shouldn't be running nothing." And he died shortly after that. I mean, that was a bomb right there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he took it way back. Like y'all shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, running nothing anyway. Like check this out. It's Proverbs 22, verse 14. The words of a bad woman are like a deep pit. If you make the Lord angry, you will fall right in. So I believe these simps are God's enemies. God is mad at these simps, and he's allowing them to fall with this nasty, wicked woman.
Exactly. Exactly. Um,
We're gonna burn right along with her.
uh-huh.
Okay.
And so
Yep.
exactly. And
22,
so
14.
so exactly. And so basically this is where we are. But brothers, it's time for me to shut this down. We've been on 3 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. And so don't forget to get the thumbs up if you haven't already. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't subscribed. And if you have subscribed, make sure you subscribe because you know how YouTube be doing me. All right. And let's see. Let's see. Oh, and if you care to donate to my channel, my PayPal and Cash App will be in the description box. But remember, you always take care of yourself and family first before you give a person a dime. All right. So, hey, all you brothers that came in on that's in the panel, thanks for showing up. Um, I will holler at you all later. To the brother out there, so hit me up, KI space Jameson on Facebook Messenger. All right, and we could talk once you get here. All right, or on your way here, if you need anything, um, we could do that. All right. So and so with that said, brothers, peace, love, and soul. I'm out. And
Hmm.
uh thank you, brothers, for being in the panel. All right, y'all. I holla at y'all.
All right, peace, Navi.
Peace.
Shaboing boing.
Good God, popcorn.